Livel. We are Livel. It's like live, but better. No, that happened quick.
We had 12 more seconds to go.
Well, you know what? I was jumping the shickle. So, welcome back to Bearded Ramblings. I am Loaven Givadios. We are joined by the Dar of Kren.
Hello.
And the Magicus of Lord.
It's pronounced Jamarcus. Okay, thank you.
It's regional dialect. It's one of those names that when you translate it, it sounds completely different. Like if you put your name to a Japanese translator.
That's what happened with Hannibal then. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I mean...
Yeah, okay, so I should clarify. In Pennsylvania, where I live, it's pronounced Majicus, but in Georgia, it's pronounced Jamarcus.
And here you're from the Majicus house, the Majicus clan. Oh, Magicus. From Kerry, I believe. It's County Kerry. Good farmland down there now. Yeah, so. Good horses. Sorry, I've been surrounded by cold cheese for 5 years now, and it's starting to seep into me.
By cold cheese?
Cold cheese. It's our version of rednecks.
Cold cheese tastes better than warm cheese, so.
Damn right it
Sometimes.
does. Well, no, yeah, no.
Unless you melt it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if you got a bit of Gouda? What if you got a bit of Gouda?
I'm at room temperature.
Yeah, no,
cheese,
there can be delicious warm cheese and cold cheese. It just depends.
The important thing is cheese is superior, so...
Look, yeah. I don't trust anybody who tells me they don't like cheese and bacon, all right?
Yeah.
People are obviously damaged in the brain regions.
I went to the Middle East and not a single bit of bacon as far as the eye could see.
That's why you can't...
Whoa, Rose!
Yeah, like, I don't care about, like, religion or anything else. But you tell me that you... What?
Do not use this for alcohol. Rose Black topped up the pint glass by $5 in dues.
Now I see it.
And says, do not use this for alcohol. We actually are going to, but thank you for very much reminding us about this. For the beer, because we haven't chilled it since we first did it. We have to remember to do this at least once an episode. Yeah.
I chilled it once last week.
No, we didn't do it last week at all. We didn't chill it once. So down the corner here is hi everyone, by the way. Good to see you all. I hope you're all fantastic. I hope the election cycle hasn't destroyed your fucking soul yet, because that'll be very bad. Because we need that.
That part's coming.
Yeah, give it time. Give it time.
We haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's coming. Trust me.
But yeah, down here in the corner is the Bearded Boozethon, where if we reach what was our intended goal? Do you remember there, Krendar? It says 200 down here, but I don't. No, 100. Oh, it is 100, right?
100.
Yeah, because for some reason, the thing was set like that. If we reach that goal, and don't let the number fool you, we'll just reset the clock. The plan is we'll divide it among ourselves and have an episode where we're drinking some top shelf hooch. So,
yeah, in other words, once that bar fills up, the following episode, we will be drunk off our asses.
We're going to watch mostly cringe-related stuff, so expect a lot of things like King and fucking King Cobra, and maybe even a little bit of Jared.
Whoever our guest is going to be for that episode, we will encourage them to drink as if they feel like it as well.
Absolutely. So we need to make sure we have someone who can jump down the bandwagon as equally as much. But thank you so much there.
Thank you, Rose, and we will make sure to go to the correct version of your message. We will definitely not use this for alcohol.
There you go.
We won't use it for alcohol right now. It's staying safely in the PayPal, where it will remain until it is needed. Yeah.
And then it shall emerge and save us all.
Mostly, except for our kidneys, they won't save us.
Save us from our sobriety.
Yeah. Because this year, let's be honest, if you're ever going to just forget it in a haze of booze, it's going to be 2020. Yeah.
I've done that multiple times in the past week alone.
I would also like to give a shout out and greetings to Danny.
Danny!
In the chat room.
Oh yeah, I see. He said he couldn't pay me enough to try worm cheese. You know what? I'm not saying every cheese is on the table, but you should there, and though at least the popular ones, like people should like them.
On the dinner table.
Yeah. Like if you tell me that you don't fucking like provolone, then you're not my friend. I'm sorry.
What? I mean, if you when we go down to, like, say, relationships or just sex, if you want me to go down on you, you better fucking like Edam. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. If we're having a conversation prior and you say that you are at least lukewarm on Edam, oh honey, I'm sorry, but you know you're not getting any happy surprises. Not at all. I'm not going to be glistening this beard up with your love for me. I don't know why. I think I'm sleep deprived, and I'm just gonna fucking just go balls.
Go for it.
Yes.
Don't even be self-conscious. Just let it take you where it will.
So when your fist is this far up inside, you know you have a problem when you pull out and there's some tension and you can't get it all out at once.
Yeah. Actually, Rose Black, it's not even about lactose intolerance. It's just, if you're not lactose intolerant and you still don't like cheese, then you are clearly...
Oh, obviously. You're not going to go and be
You get a free pass if you're lactose intolerant.
Even then, there's some lactose-free cheese.
You still have to like bacon, though.
Even if you're lactose intolerant, we still expect you to want the cheese and just be sad that you can't have it.
Yeah. That's out of your hands and out of your intestines, so to speak. So yeah, Magicus, how are you? How are you this? I could say fine day, but has there been a fine day this year?
No, well, okay, and that's not true. Yesterday was for just a moment there was a fine part of yesterday when we were listening to DP talk to Trumpster Bob, because that was one of the greatest things I've ever heard in my life.
I was pretty fond of the entire day yesterday because it was my birthday.
Yes, happy belated birthday there.
Happy birthday. You're 1 year closer to dying.
I am. Huzzah. 1 year closer to finally not having to put up with this shit anymore.
It'll be quiet in the ground.
Yeah, that's what you think. Like, come
on. Until some necromancer brings me back to life and makes me dance, like in that video game.
Or
that one. The only one that there's a necromancer in.
Yeah, just that one video game. Just that one scene in that one video game.
That's centered around the concept of Necro Dancing.
Oh.
Is it like Step Up except with skeletons? I don't understand.
You guys haven't seen Crypt of the Necro?
I have seen extra credits talk about it. It seemed kind of cool.
This sounds like a B porn movie.
It's kind of like it's sort of like a roguelike dungeon exploration thing, except that you have to take all of your actions on the beat of a song.
Uh-huh.
Because for some reason your heartbeat has been linked to a song. I don't know. It's a weird plot.
Can you choose the song? Is it WAP? Please tell me it's WAP.
It's a different on every level, but the point being that your character dies and a necromancer raises you from the dead, but took your heart out, and your heart is beating to the beat of a song.
Would you say
all your actions have to be on the beat of a song?
Would you say that your character is boned?
I mean, you can get boned if you don't do things properly, and when skeleton kills you.
Oh, boned because skeleton, because dead. Funny.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
I laugh, but secretly I also understand. Yes.
But your character is not a skeleton herself, because she still has her body.
Technically, we're all skeletons. We're just a little bit more than skeletons. Okay?
We're skeletons wearing a meat jacket,
and the meat jacket doesn't have the
mech.
Yeah, we're basically we're Mecha. We're all basically Mecha, but we're flesh Mecha. We're flesh golems powered by.
We're the worst kind of golems.
Yeah, the best type of golems.
Flesh Mecha. That's pretty metal, actually.
Flesh Mecha. Yeah. There's an anime. Well, what am I saying? Isn't what's the name of it? To a degree, Evangelion is a flesh. All those are flesh mechas because they're all biological.
Attack on Titan is all about like flesh mechs.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because they're all
Can I just say how weird the name of that show is? There's a city called Titan, and it's being attacked by beings that could be called Titans, but no, they're not the Titans. The city is. What the fuck?
Attack on Ethno State. Once you know the whole story.
I finished watching the season 3 of Attack on Titan, and I really enjoy the show, but like the plot of this show is so fucking convoluted. It is insane.
Yeah, it's just weird to me out of all the words they could have named the city, and they had to name it Titan when they're being attacked by giants.
The walls have all weird ass names, and they're all named after women, aren't they?
Strange.
Yeah, well, they always use the names of the walls. They never like really call it Titan though.
Yeah,
the walls are named after what?
Women for the most part, isn't it?
I think there's like Maria and
Rose, isn't Rose?
Rose is one of them. Damn it, what's the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Nerds in the chat, what is the name of the third wall?
This is worth 300 points.
What is the name of the fourth wall?
It's, the plains outside of town. It's more convoluted. Especially once you if you look at the map of it's just the Earth upside down. They got a little bit uncreative there.
Oh, that's where they got uncreative.
There.
Nothing before that was uncreative.
Can I just say, it's an absolute travesty that Team 4 Star's 1 or 2 episodes of their abridged Attack on Titan never saw the light of day beyond those 2 episodes.
Yeah, I did enjoy them quite a lot.
But of course,
Wallace is the fourth wall. All right.
Well, of course. How did we not see that?
Wallace is only for the best. I haven't even seen this show. I just know, but it's got a weird name. Israel, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Israel. I won't be reading the chat as easily, so
that's okay. I got it.
I can occasionally look down at this, but
I'll keep my eye on it.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, if you check down the description down below, you'll find the link to our guest, Krendar's stuff, our Discord, and a few other things down there as well. So, now that the shilling is out of the way, I suppose we should get into it. I suppose we should do the first show
of the day. Have we done a sufficiently long ramble before we can do our second intro?
Well,
we actually don't have an intro for the shows yet.
If you want to check out my channel, it's all about like Magic the Gathering for the most part. So if that's something you're interested in, I play like a lot of blue decks, especially Merfolk. So that's kind of my thing.
I know, guys. I know you can't believe it, but Lord Magicus plays Magic.
I know, right? What a shocker.
I used to play a lot of Magic back when I was in university, but I haven't really played in years.
It's an expensive fucking game to keep up with. Like, it's ridiculous. And it's worse, like, because
of Ice Age packs back in the day.
I chose to like foil my deck out, so like my deck is actually worth more than my car is. Which it is a stupid amount of money to spend on something. Don't ever do that.
Yeah, I've heard nothing.
Chat says you're a lot louder than us.
Oh, I can fix that. I can't fix it for you guys, used to, but I can fix it for the chat at least. No worries.
Hey, Magicus, did you ever get into the Legends expansion set?
I don't even know if I have any Legends cards, because that's like one of the most expensive sets in the entire game.
The thing that was funny was when I was collecting it when it was out, and it was really like when it was a current set, it was super popular. Because a lot of the cards were kind of overpowered, honestly.
Oh yeah, you have stuff like Moat and Tabernacle, and it just like will end the game.
But then when they stopped being available anymore, people still wanted more. So people, myself and my friends at the time included, we would go and get like Legend sets that came from other countries and were in different languages, just so we could get more of them.
I think
by this point we were familiar with the cards; we knew what they were.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We could just look at the picture and know what it was, and not have to worry about being able to read it. So,
well, it's interesting.
A bunch of Italian and German Legends.
The Italian Legend stuff in particular, it seems to be less expensive than most of the other one. I don't know. I think the print run on the Italian Legends might have actually been greater than a lot of the other languages. So, but I know like if people are looking to save money, they usually go for Italian on that. Like the price difference is enormous. It can be like hundreds of dollars.
Cards. I never played it once in my life, and I won't
Legends
even watch.
has a card that's worth over $2,000 in it.
Fucking hell!
Hmm.
The only time I've really known much about Magic the Gathering cards was stuff like watching other people, like say Critical, doing his massive unpackaging episodes, and I don't even watch them. I just know that he must have spent thousands on that by now.
If you watch channels like Rudy or Alpha Investments, like they do like a lot of unboxing of like products and stuff. And
didn't Boogie spend like 10 grand?
Boogie has played Magic quite a lot. I'm not familiar with all of his specific content, but I know like he was pretty into it.
I wonder what the Chaos Orb's worth these days. I used to have one of those.
It probably depends on the condition that you have it in. So
I assume the $2,000 one's probably the Black Lotus.
The $2,000 one from Legends is Tabernacle at Pendulum
from
Vale.
Legends. I thought you meant in general.
Yeah. No, Black Lotus, an unlimited Black Lotus is like over $5,000 now. That's like the cheapest Lotus that you can possibly get. I actually do have one, and it's signed by Christopher Rush, and I'm never getting rid of it.
I didn't start playing until what was the second expansion, the Artifact one?
Wait, no, I know. Antiquities,
yeah. That's when I started playing, so Unlimited was already over before I started buying any.
Antiquities, I think the most expensive card from that is Mishra's Workshop, I believe.
Yeah, I got one of those. It's not in great condition, though.
No, that card is ridiculously expensive. Like, it's a 4 of and vintage, so...
Oh, I just realized what I had done there. Sorry, guys. I completely covered us up.
That's not the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
Okay, so I guess we'll get into it with the most obvious one, the election chaos that's happening right now.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
I wish I could say, wow, I can't believe that enter name here has won, or I can't believe that enter name here has won. Instead, it's just... oh, give us another week and we can finally sort out. Although it does look like Biden's taken the lead again, which is great.
So, all right, I've been following this pretty closely through 538 and other places the last couple days. At this point, Joe Biden is like 99% winning this election, barring some like stupid bullshit court decisions like that would have to come like weeks from now. Biden has got this. There's no place left that Trump can really make up the difference in votes that are being counted because they're all mail-ins and they're
counted in yet?
Not all the mail-ins and not all the provisionals have been counted in every place, but all the ones that are left are like they're either mail-in or provisional, which are Democratic leaning, and or they're from like very Democrat leaning counties. So Biden is just slaughtering them.
This, where they had like a blonde lady wig on Donald Trump, and it was like Karen Trump demands to talk to the polls manager or something like that.
Israel, you're right. Decision Desk headquarters did call the election today, like just a couple hours ago.
Who's that?
The Decision Desk. I saw them. I
don't know who that is.
538 posted a link to it on their page. So I don't follow Decision Desk, but like I think they're one of like the larger groups that does this election tracking.
They're a media something or other.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 538 is a site that's run by Nate Silver, and notably Nate Silver is one of the few people that actually sort of predicted Trump had reasonable chances of winning the 2016 election. Mm-hmm. I think he gave Trump like 30% or something like that.
Yeah,
whereas everyone else was giving him like 1% to 2%. So if you're gonna follow any place like for this kind of information, 538's a pretty good spot to go because at least
this whole thing has been very close though, hasn't it?
Extremely close.
We're talking like margins of like 10,000 votes or less in a lot of these places.
Which is why all those doomers not going out to vote, like Billy the Fridge and fucking Paul's ego. I have no problem goddamn saying it, you motherfuckers. Yes, actually, and I hate to do it, especially with Paul, because I absolutely adore Paul. But fuck you, man. Fuck you. I don't disagree
with them. Like, I don't think your vote matters. No. Listen. I don't think your vote particularly matters when it comes to like the future of politics in this country, because let's be real, Joe Biden is not the fucking socialist like demon that everybody fears
doesn't need to be. He can move.
He was.
Yeah, I know, but he can start the process.
But he's not. He's a fucking conservative, like all the rest of the Democrats from the establishment.
But let him be a conservative. Like let him be a much more like manageable thing than an outright fascist who also is not very good at what he wants.
I'm not gonna say that he's not like. He is less bad than Trump, but let's be real. He's also not what the future of this country needs.
He doesn't need to be, but he can set the tone to move left again.
Ourselves more in a time where we don't really have time to be fucking around because, like, we need stuff like the Green New Deal now if we want any chance at fucking salvaging the environment.
Hell, you need more than the Green New Deal.
We need things like Medicare for all now. We need things like a universal basic income now because the fucking advancements in technology are coming like really, really, really rapidly. And within our lifetimes, we are going to see like the end of a lot of these sectors where there's not going to be like a lot of these manufacturing jobs or like even a lot of these service industry. Like one in particular that I think is really interesting to watch is the driving jobs. Like people driving tractor trailers to deliver stuff. That is going to go away. Like all of the automated cars that they're testing out, they're going to replace that entire fucking industry. And now all the people that are trained to do those trucking jobs, they're not going to have a job anymore. So if we don't have things like, universal basic income plan set up, like we're just going to be like economically fucking over like half of the country. And there needs to be some kind of plan in place to deal with that when we get there. We don't have time to be dicking around for another like 10, 12 years without doing anything about it. So and Biden, he's not going to address that. And like that's why I wanted somebody like Sanders or Andrew Yang.
Everyone wanted Sanders, but I mean, Sanders wasn't happening because
Sanders is not. He's not the only person that could deal with this. Like there were other politicians that were
Yang wouldn't have really moved the idea, moved stuff forward.
Yang definitely had the right idea though. He was at least. Even if he wasn't going to get the things accomplished, like putting them on the platform itself is already a big deal in a lot of these cases.
Although, let's be honest here, if Yang had managed to get UBI going, that would have been a massive help during
exactly.
Also, but even
making it an official goal of the Democratic Party to get that, even if they don't actually get it, that still pushes us in the direction of getting towards that point, which, let's be honest, even if they put it on their platform, it's probably going to take at least a decade or so to get it actually done. And like I said, we are rapidly running out of time because of the advance of technology and things like automated driving. We don't have time to wait. But if we wait until that happens and then do something about it, our legislative process is not going to be fast enough to avoid the ridiculously dangerous economic depression we're going to suffer because of it. So that's my problem with Joe Biden and just like the status quo. The status quo is setting us up for like huge catastrophic fuck ups in the relatively short term future. And it's better now, but it's really not better now at the same time. So I don't feel like it's a hugely meaningful choice. Your choice for this election was basically, are you going to sign off on this or are you not going to sign off on this? Like, I chose for a third party because I don't want to sign off on this.
Let's be honest here. It was a choice between sort of old school liberal sort of politicians that we've known for decades, or an outright fascist. And it wasn't really up to the base. He's not a liberal
politician, though.
He is liberal in the more traditional sense, not liberal the way we want it.
No, I agree with you, status quo, but I don't think that status quo is.
I mean, for God's sake, he gets Kamala as his VP, and she's a.
You know what I think? Is hilarious about this one actually is 2016. The vote was basically Hillary versus not Hillary. And now and then it's turned around to being Trump versus Trump.
Most of these votes were not Trump.
Trump is the one that got Hillary out of the way, and now we want to get rid of him.
Well, this is the thing, though. Every single election is gonna be like that. It's either
not really.
Nobody's voting. You're not voting for something. You're voting against something. And
what about when it was?
Run a country like
hold on.
I'm just saying about that. It's the immediate turnaround. Like when Obama's second term came in, people weren't like, "Oh God, that was a mistake. Get him out of here."
Yeah, like no one. But when it was McCain and versus Obama, it wasn't between not him or something like that. It was against this perceived idea of going whatever the hell the pundits were saying about Obama versus old school conservatism, because that was like the last oomph of old school conservatism when it was Palin and McCain. And I'd like to actually see that old school conservatism come back, because at least it's not psychotic like whatever the fuck Trumpism
I
unlocks.
agree with you. I don't care for the psychotic, like, are we going to wake up every day and just happen to have nuked a country because Trump didn't get his fucking morning coffee or some shit? Like, I understand that. Like, I can agree that I don't
think that's coming back, though. I think politics is forever changed now in America.
When I look at it, it's like choosing between getting shot in the head or getting shot in the leg. Like, getting shot in the leg is the status quo here, and we've been doing that for a while. But eventually, like, you're gonna die from that, and it's not gonna fix
absolutely.
itself.
So you got to do what you can to push it forward towards an agenda that will benefit everyone. Now, of course, I'm not an American, so I can't really impact anyone. But I've never pretended to be. I've never pretended to hide my political viewpoints. I am borderline outright like communist now in my views in many respects, which that's a dirty word, but it's
I wouldn't call myself radically left, but I'm definitely like left leaning.
I have some strong socialist views, and hell, I live in a country that has some very strong socialist policies, and we're actually weak in comparison to other countries in Europe, and it works out. Like, we do all right. Our country does all right.
Yeah, well, this is something I like talk about with a lot of people all the time. When the word socialism in America has a really dirty. Nobody fucking knows what it means. They just use it as a slur. Like, that guy just fucking shot me. What a socialist. Or, I saw him rob a convenience store. Damn socialist. Like, you don't even know what you're saying.
It's one of the collection of words that we have these days that people overuse to the point where it loses all of its meaning.
Like simp or cook.
Exactly.
Yeah, like simp or cuck.
Well, the same thing with like the term Nazi. Like, people just throw around that accusation,
or even pedo these days.
Pedo. Especially anyone on the right is just going to immediately accuse you of being a pedo.
We're just like,
there must be a pedophile situation.
Like, just fucking call everybody you don't like these words.
Yeah,
it doesn't make it true. It just
what that kind of represents? It kind of represents the sense of like not America, just the wider world. It's kind of dumbing down a bit, and I think the internet has a huge factor to play in it. Everything's being sped up, so we have these buzzwords rather than outright sort of like accusations or like problems you have with someone. You just boil them down to, here's a lib cock.
This is actually another conversation I was having earlier today with a coworker of mine. Part of the problem for this is that, like, think about how much we've advanced in the last 100 years, like technologically, through the advent of, all this ridiculous access to information across the world. And now keep in mind that basically the United States education system has almost not changed like at all in the past 100 years in the way that they teach students.
Yeah, and
of course trying to prepare them for an economy that basically doesn't exist, because you can't just be like a factory worker for the most part.
Yeah, you're not gonna go out to the steel mill or something like that anymore. Like, I'm gonna leave school, or you're gonna work in McDonald's, and there's a good chance you have to work there because the fucking it's all been replaced by those big computer screens that you make your orders from.
The other thing is that the way that they're teaching in these classrooms, they're still just like operating under this like century old idea where you just take like 30 students and put them in a room with one teacher, like, oh yeah, you can just educate them all. It doesn't fucking work like that. People don't learn the same way as each other. There's all different types of methods that people are accustomed to learning through, and not everyone is the same for each person. Some people learn through like discussion, some people learn through lecture where they just listen to it a lot. Some people are really good with interacting with things. Like, you can't, or some memorization and repetition works for some people. You can't just like use one method of teaching and expect it to apply to an entire room full of kids. Like, that's like the dark ages of fucking education. And yet we're still doing it. And not only that, we're doing it to an even worse degree, because now we keep, instead of like 30 kids, it's like 40 or even more in some cases. They're just putting more and more desks in the classroom. So how much
it's going to be like that episode of it's going to be like that future episode of The Simpsons where they're like in these huge bunks, hundreds, like 100 a room, and they're just watching a TV of like a sponsorship of Troy McClure hosts a math class via TV, but it's sponsored by Pepsi.
But you may remember me from such classrooms as.
Yeah.
That might actually work better than the system we have now, because let's say that you had the infrastructure where you had like each child has their own individual screen and to learn from and shit. Well, maybe you have like an AI that they can interact with, that they can learn the material in the manner that works best for them.
Yeah, that sounds like it could be interesting. Of course, you'd have to test it, and the thing is that like in America, in America, you guys have like far more concerning shit. Like you guys still try to
we still have a
creationism. Like you try to still sell creationist.
Our country is literally still on fire right now because we never fucking dealt with that shit. And there's still a pandemic here. 5% of the world's population. We have 20% of the fucking COVID cases.
240,000.
Yeah, it went up to like 240,000 like this past like week or so. It's insane. Like, you're absolutely right. We have a lot more pressing things to worry about right now. But
that shit has to be addressed at some point.
Like 2020 has been like the perfect fucking intersection of like all of these things coming together and failing simultaneously.
2020 has been this.
We don't have a fucking healthcare system. Like our education system is not fucking prepared to like teach kids remotely or and to do anything other than just put like 50 children in a room and try to teach them together. Like, can't handle that. We don't have like any sort of support, social safety system for people who lose their jobs due to
I was on the streets in New York this year, and I can tell you that I wasn't alone. Like there was tons of other people there who clearly fell through the cracks.
It gets worse then. Like, okay, so now we have to also look at, well, a lot of these COVID cases are fucking running rampant through like our prison system, and guess what? We still prosecute people for minor drug offenses, and like the prisons are ridiculously packed. Again, we have like a tiny percent of the world's or the top population of the world. It's something like 25% of all prisoners on Earth are like in the United States. It's insane.
On the plus side, one of the few good things that came out of this election, the amount of legalization in different states.
That was a shining beacon. Like, I think, what was it? Oregon legalized a bunch of stuff, including like magic mushrooms.
Yeah, cybacose, and how do you pronounce it? Cyber.
I could not possibly tell you.
Yeah, magic mushrooms, basically, for medical use. But also, New Jersey legalized weed. South Dakota legalized weed. Montana legalized weed. I think Wyoming also did as well.
But I want to also finish this though. Like we're now also at a point where we haven't been dealing with our housing problem. Like housing is another area where it's failed us completely, because now obviously you don't have a job, you can't pay for rent. Well, what's going to happen when all the people finally have to start paying back rent and we just keep pushing it forward. We're not actually forgiving any of the debt. We just keep kicking the ball down the road saying, okay, well, I know you haven't had a job in like 5 months, but I'm sure you'll find a way to pay like 5 months of rent all at once within like 30 days. That's going to happen.
Yeah, there's no safety net for anyone, unless of course they come from a privileged background.
But
if their families can pay them.
Systemically failing though, because now it goes to the legal system. Well, none of these people can fucking afford legal representation to fight their evictions in court, so they're fucked on that front. And it just keeps like going, and every single institution in the United States is like set up to fucking fail us. And this year has proven like the weaknesses and cracks in every one of those systems. So
and to tie it all off, just look at this map right here. It is like just a perfect example of how divided America is on like political and social grounds, and that of course ties in perfectly with that, because whenever there's stress, you always have to start blaming the other person, whether they did it or not. So, of course, like this is groundwork for a civil war. It might not be right now. It might not be because of Trump.
There's
But
going to be a lot of fucking violence in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. And hell, there was a terrorist attack that was foiled not too long ago. At like I think not Biden. At like the Pennsylvania Democratic headquarters, a QAnon guy had a bunch of explosives, and he was going to use it.
I want to address Ezreal's comment quick. No, you are correct. Like, the amount of money that we're spending on something is not the problem with education at the moment. It's the fact that we're trying to apply a one-size-fits-all method to education. And that's really what's failing us. Like, the fact that we have we're trying to standardize something that in no fucking way should be standardized. And it's like I said before, you employ one style of teaching to a room full of kids. Like, they're not all going to learn that way, and so they're not going to all succeed like that. You can't throw money at the problem. You have to change strategically how you approach it in the first place.
Honestly, I don't know if a lot of these issues can be fixed, at least not quickly, without some major...
It's a matter of whether they want to fix them or not. And I think in a lot of cases, because again, another institution that fails us, our fucking economy, we live in basically a corporate oligarchy that has no real interest in having a nation full of critical thinkers that can understand how badly they're getting fucked right now.
No.
So yeah, no shit. Education is not going to get fixed anytime soon.
I've always considered America to be a nation always in constant debt. It pays people more if they're always in debt. Like, if you paid off your debt, in fact, I know for a fact that in certain parts of America, I have friends who I once asked, why don't you just pay back your loans that you take out of your bank straight away, so you don't have to deal with the interest? And they said, oh, you'll actually get a negative credit score.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
what the fuck? I am literally in that exact scenario right now. I have $2,000 left in my student loan that I could pay it off literally right now if I wanted to, but it is in my best interest not to do that, because if I take it, listen. If I paid it off right now, it would actually hurt my credit score by a lot, because I wouldn't have any other sort of loan on there to show that I'm constantly paying something back on time every month. So ironically, it would actually hurt me. And because of the COVID at the moment, I don't really owe any interest. They put a freeze on the interest for it. So yeah, there's no benefit to me to pay it back right now. It's actually better to just pay the monthly amount each month.
I love America, but I can't say I've had the opportunity more than once in life, and probably will again, to live there. America would need to majorly shake itself up before I could even consider it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize. Yeah, you probably the idea of having to borrow tens of thousands of dollars just to attend college is probably ridiculous.
I went to community college and I didn't pay a penny. In fact, I started to get paid by the government to ensure that I had everything I needed.
I did 2 years at a local community college, which I got paid for through grants and a scholarship that I won. And I did 2.5 years at a state university, and the 2.5 years I did cost me $20,000.
Now, obviously, it costs a little bit to go to say Trinity College, because it's considered very prestigious.
I went to a cheap school, and it still cost me $20,000. Imagine if you go to a good school for 4 years, you will be in debt for the rest of your fucking life.
That is so not a problem here. The most people have to worry about is maybe while being in college here, they'll work at a bar, but just to have a little bit extra money in their pocket, and then once they're done, not only do they have now their degree under their belt, but they also have options to go overseas and work, and a lot of them go over to the States and work for a few months there, usually doing menial jobs, just because it's a great opportunity. But you don't see that for Americans. Americans don't do that. Americans don't pick up sticks and go anywhere. They're stuck in America in colossal debt. It's
expensive to travel. Most people don't have the kind of money to just get on a plane.
Most Americans I know don't have passports. Like it's
like how who has like the time and money to go and fucking get a passport? Like why? You can't, like, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to fucking take that kind of trip. Like
it's I think it's also would help them culturally, because whenever I go to Nebraska, whenever I go to Omaha, I'm very out of the way. It's not a normal tourist destination and shit like that.
Yeah.
So they haven't really seen Irish people before, and they're asking about this. But then one of them, every once in a while, I'll meet someone who went to the UK or they went to France, and they're like so rare, which is such a shame thing, because you go over here to Europe and you've got tons of people who go over to America so many times, more than I have, and they get sick of it, and they're like, "Oh no, I can't stand Americans. They're very insular, they're very closed-minded, except for the West Coast people." But I think that's a lot to do with income, a lot to do with
it definitely
almost like a bougie attitude.
Well, no, it is like the people who have money to experience more shit in life are going to use it more. Absolutely. Like if you're like, again, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're living in a town where like the main attraction is a Walmart, like, yeah, I'm sure that you probably are not going to be the most open-minded because your environment has not conditioned you to be.
I've been to.
I think it's really weird on this map, though.
Hmm?
I like when you zoom in on Washington. Like Washington's blue, but you zoom in and it's 2/3 red.
I've noticed that a lot of them have already been won out, but like
so. The states that are blue are mostly blue because of a very small part of the states. It's like usually just it's a handful of like really highly densely populated cities in that state, and like most of the
counties, like the counties do not necessarily count equally.
No. So if that's the thing, like they don't, because most of these counties have like relatively low population density, except like most of the blue ones have a much higher population density.
Yeah, like I noticed in Washington State, one of the counties that showed up as blue was where Seattle is.
I don't know if you can find it, but if you see like a map that just shows it by county as to like where the blue areas are, so if you like see this view but actually see this view with all the counties on it, it's almost an entirely red map, because as far as land area is concerned, Republicans have like 95+% of the land area.
But this could go back to an even older thing, rural v urban. Because like look at all these, a lot of these red states are considered less urban. Obviously, then you've got stuff like Florida, which ironically most people who would be voting red in Florida would actually be like Latinos, like second generation, third generation.
Well, it's different in Florida specifically because I think a lot of their Latinos come from like Cuba, and
they have a very
Cuba's situation with their country has probably a lot to do with why people are a little bit more fearful of those.
Also,
how do I say, like, more socialist leaning policies?
Yeah, of course, for obvious reasons, which is a shame because while I can't stand the Castro, which I know he's dead, but you might as well still call it the Castro regime, because he's murdered tons of people, and it's a very hard place to live in. They have a lot of social policies that are really good, but because it's tied into such a piece of shit that it's kind of like the tanky argument that every communist has to be a fucking sort of red square marching towards the gulag sort of situation. Fuck that noise, I do not want to be compared to fucking Stalin if I ever go full red, which I'm not. I still have some views. I also just enjoy the visceral feeling of like purchasing stuff with money, so I'm a long way from being a Workers of the World Unite, but
the thing that like most of these people also fail to recognize is that there is no like 100% communist or 100% capitalist nation like as part of the first world on this planet. Every one of the economies is some form of mixed economy where you have some stuff that should be private sector and some stuff that should be public sector. And literally every other country besides like the United States has found like a pretty good balance of like where that should be. But the United States, for some reason, decides, you know what? We really don't like having things being public sector, even when it would be to the benefit of fucking everyone here. And even when it's been proven that like those mixed economies work like in almost every other country that employs them. No, we have to just do things the hard way because we're scared that if we spend $1, somebody else might benefit from that, even if we're spending it to benefit ourselves.
Well,
it's cutting off your fucking nose to spite your face. That's what it is.
You know what we need? We need Trumpy Bear.
Oh, fuck.
The forest. A storm
not orange
is coming.
enough.
I am the storm.
I am the storm.
Trump is going to have to sell a lot of these bears in order to make up for the legal fees. He's about to get sued a lot by New York.
He's all right. He's a billionaire. It's not like that he's actually incredibly in debt.
Yeah, no, definitely not
why
incredibly
is New York
in
going
debt.
to sue him specifically?
I forget. Like, I know that they've been waiting to press charges until he was like out of office. So probably within the next like few months, they'll see them move in that direction.
He'll probably have to sell Trump Tower, which that would be great because then it could be called something that that New York's not ashamed of, like Shit-Heeled Tower. They'd be much happier to have a building called Shit-Heeled than they would Trump right now.
It might have something to do with tax evasion. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. I mean, like he probably hasn't paid state tax.
I know that there was like a standing legal question of whether you could actually raise those kind of charges against a sitting president.
Well, no, they've come out and said that you can't. The FBI won't go after a sitting president, but obviously a lot of this stuff predates.
Once he's no longer in office, then they can still go after him on those.
You know what I'd love?
I think they're just waiting for that.
If this had a little bit of justice, as on Inauguration Day when he goes out to have his goodbye speech, the second he's done, two guys come up and one flashes a badge and the other puts him in cuffs and he's just dragged off.
I'm still praying that he goes out of the White House kicking and screaming. That would just be like...
I would love that.
I would love on the day he doesn't want to go and Secret Service just grab him and there's just a picture of him just going, no!
I want to see him like holding on to the fucking White House door just like while they're trying to pull his legs away and he's just grabbing onto the door frame just like, no, you can't take me. You just
see the helicopter. You know the way whenever whatever the previous president leaves, they go to the helicopter and it takes them away. Instead of that, you see Melania and the rest of the family, they all just quickly avoid him and rush into the helicopter and leave without him. They don't even want to be in the same one.
So I'm not familiar with the exact kind of legal trouble he's in. I just know that there are some sort of pending charges. I think that New York is waiting to at least attempt to go after him on. So
what I want to know is, does Biden bear come with a second smaller bear that it sniffs the head of?
It should have like a wind up on the back, and it's just him making weird mumbling statements that go anywhere. Like,
monarchy.
I can chew gum and walk at the same time.
American movie. Trumpy Bear was born June 14th.
I want to know if you brush the hairs in Biden Bear's legs, if they'll
the American flag themed blanket.
I've actually heard an argument to say that this is like besmirching the flag by doing that, having it as like a backup cape that comes out. I don't know about that, but
that's silly.
I don't really care if it is or not, to be honest. I've watched people.
The flag as a cape is incredibly American, if you ask me.
Most countries do that.
Thing that's happened to
Have you ever been to like a football game before? Everyone does that.
Display Trump.
There are people that wear fucking American flag speedos, so I don't think that using the flag like this is that big a deal.
Yeah, what's worse, having it on your back or having it on your junk?
Yeah, exactly.
I like the green screen. Like they couldn't have gone to a construction site or just an abandoned warehouse.
Of course not. They don't have access to it. This guy's not an actual construction worker.
Well, Trump would actually have to pay people to fucking do his construction if he wanted that.
Trump sits proudly at the front of the motorcycle.
Hey, it's Wild Bill's bike.
Cycle and loves to cruise with his brother.
I'm a former Marine.
You pronounce Mild
proud
Bill
to have Trumpy Bear ride by my side.
I can't wait to see him crying.
When I saw Trumpy Bear,
someone has to pay this on this teddy bear.
That is true.
I like how he has like a sticker on his fucking bike of Trump. Not even Trump. This Trumpy Bear.
Have him. He's a fighter. Just like me.
Some firehouses have Dalmatians. We have Trumpy Bear.
I've been in law enforcement for over 4 years.
Just let my house
burn. I love my Trumpy Bear. Trumpy Bear always has my back. When I go on patrol, I'm rolling with Trumpy Bear.
Yeah, because there's all these adults out here who are just obsessed with fucking teddy bears, right?
This is why we need to defund the police. They have money to fucking waste on Trumpy bears. All right, obviously they're
I want to see a dash
Trumpy
cam.
bears are going to children. They're all adults.
Yeah, Jesus. Of course.
All right, I don't have a lot of room to talk because I do own a lot of plushes, but at least I can say it was spent with my money. Or I purchased it with my own money, not the taxpayers' money. So I'm not a fucking publicly funded police department that spent money on this shit.
I'm really wondering if like there's a dash cam footage of like a black kid who's getting beaten the crap out of by the cops, and Trumpy Bear is just slightly off to the left. Jesus, they haven't even taken the tag off his arm, and you just hear like.
Can we put like
this guy's eyes?
Which the bear or the dude? Because the dude looks so dead inside, but the bear looks.
But I meant the dude. Like,
oh my god,
this guy looks really unhinged.
He looks like he has like doll wigs in his basement. He puts them on.
Can we put like a nanny cam inside like Trumpy Bear and like actually watch the beatings through that?
Yeah.
When they're talking about like redlining areas and shit like that, like we're gonna go to the bad part of town. Wait,
how many people do you think we're gonna get arrested after putting in like these cams?
Dozens. And then there's just a scene where like they're talking about we need to round up 50 people. Well, there's those white nationalist dudes, and everyone stops and laughs and then goes, no, we'll round up some N-words. And then they were like, wait a minute, what's that weird noise coming from Trumpy Bear? What the hell?
Sir, we're getting some strange audio out of Unit 237. Something about some guy wants to remake his daughter.
Great again. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Yeah, thank you, Trumpy Bear.
God, that guy did not want.
All right, I have to ask a question,
dude. Whoa,
how many people do you think have fucked Trumpy Bear?
Yes,
not enough.
Because I think the answer is too many people. All right.
Wait,
I own my own commercial cleaning service. My business is doing great. Thank you, Trumpy Bear.
Look at the people who are buying them. They've definitely seen some shit.
That dude clearly cleans up bodies for the mob.
How much do you think they got paid to do this commercial?
This guy is totally a cleaner.
Yeah, he's... Hey, all I'm saying is Trumpy Bear helps me relax after a hard day of burying bodies by the East River.
You know what? That is a good question. How much money would they have to pay you in order to do a commercial for Trumpy Bear?
Oh, I'd do it for free, but I could do my own script. That's what I want.
It's not like there's a lot of adults who are going to be buying these things for themselves.
I want Caitlin Bennett to show up with Trumpy Bear.
I don't know if I'd want to sell out my dignity for like $1,000. I just don't think I could do that.
What about 10 grand?
Yeah, that's close to the number, I think.
Danny's asking if that one guy was Stefan Molyneux.
Trumpy Bear knows a few things about eggs.
Plus Trumpy Bear for only 2 payments of $19.95.
I think it might have
and
been,
receive
Danny.
a special certificate of authenticity. Call now or log on to find out how you can.
Ew, that Trumpy Bear looks weird as fuck.
Why is it sitting on a throne made out of golf clubs?
That's hooked on smack.
Trumpy Bear's mother drank when he was in the womb.
Oh wait, okay. This scene, like this picture right here, makes me think of like Game of Thrones, but like if the fucking throne was made out of just golf clubs in the back. Like that's what I picture Trump sitting on.
A piece of American history. Trumpy, the most fearless bear anywhere. Order now.
Fearless, so fearless that it'll run away bitching every time it doesn't get its own way. Fearless.
You know what, Magicus? I think that would be a good spin-off series.
Game of Holes.
A Game of Holes.
Well, that could go in a very different direction if it's on Pornhub.
No, that was the actual original show that went that way.
No. All right, let's keep with the upbeat before we go something down.
Wait, keep with the upbeat. When did the upbeat happen?
Yeah, I think I missed it too.
Mocking is upbeat to me because it allows me to stop remembering how shit everything is.
I think that's just my default setting.
Now, I'm sure you've seen this dude. Barbecue, beer, and freedom.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I saw that. This was great.
The latest viral moment for the last legs of the U.S. election. Anti-Biden protester video bombed the press statement in a unique top. Yes, it is a top. You don't need to state it in a very odd way. It's not like he's coming out dressed in old cans, you know. Meet the barbecue beer freedom guy, although he probably does have an outfit made out of old cans.
Family stealing the
This is
election.
true.
The media's covering it up. The Biden crime family stealing this election. The media's covering it up. The Biden crime
I love that
family
he's
stealing
wearing a
this
mask,
election.
but it's not
The
covering
media's
anything
covering
up.
Chin diaper.
He wants to be able to shout better.
We
Yeah,
want
what's the
freedom
point
for
of wearing the
world.
mask if
Give
you're
us
just
our
gonna,
freedom,
like,
Joe
just
Biden.
take it off
Joe
at that
Biden
point?
is
Fuck it.
Look at this poor person
Yeah.
there to the right. They're like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know that this guy probably wasn't the first
Here he
person
goes
to do
again.
this that day. He's just the first one that was on camera.
Probably the first
Like,
one that
they-
got behind them rather than like in front of it.
Yeah,
I'm sure
like
they got lots of
they've been
shouts.
dealing with this shit basically the entire time.
Family stealing the
She looks like she's been dealing with this entire time.
It's just like, yeah, and you can see like that soul crushing just feeling of defeat
Those
in their eyes.
those
It's like,
shirts are now selling like crazy now. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no to that.
I mean, while I disagree with the guys yelling, I do agree with his shirt.
Yeah,
barbecue is fucking delicious. And
beer is
beer
impressive.
good.
And especially the things that beer does. And freedom is fun. Now, he probably doesn't support freedom the same way as I support freedom, but he still definitely is 100% behind the nebulous concept of freedom. Like the freedom to get COVID and shout QAnon conspiracy theories.
And then die in the street because you can't afford healthcare.
he didn't build himself up by his bootstraps. He spent all his money on the T-shirt.
I believe what you meant to say was dying in the streets because you can't afford healthcare like a proper American.
Yep.
Yeah, America. It's your
America.
fucking fault if you're spending $9,000 a year on average, you know, for healthcare, and then you can't fucking afford like $100,000 healthcare bills. That's your fault.
Oh, that's it.
Well, here's just to show that it's just nothing but a non-stop American tirade. Here is one of my own countrymen in a classic, well, he's just being a Dublin junkie.
Are we getting to make fun of someone else for a change? Thank fucking God. Because
I try to be. I try to be.
I got to take a break from having to deal with my people for a change.
Well, we'll scan around to look for the non-American stories for a little bit. I mean, you're our guest. We want you to feel at home.
America is like fucking COVID hell world right now.
Well, this is from 2013, where we had no idea what COVID even was, but we did know what junkies were.
Hat on, right? I swear to God, lads, I can you now. I never hit a board in my life, but I swung this picture down. I grabbed that phone. Listen, yeah, that's funny.
I've never seen an Irish junkie before, but I'm loving this.
Yeah, and I love the part where he's like, I've never done cocaine. And it's like, no, you've done cocaine within the last 15 minutes.
Very important to point out.
No,
Lacking
it's
teeth.
crack. It's not cocaine. All right.
Here it's probably it could be heroin because opium, like heroin, is a huge problem.
I've never done cocaine, just meth.
Just everything else.
I ran from the start of that sleep. You're going like up, right?
These are the motherfuckers that come up to you when you go outside to have a smoke outside of the pub, and they want a light, they want a cigarette, or they want some money, or all three. And if you give them one, they'll ask you
I've
for
never
yours.
once done cocaine in my entire morning. Today.
I ran into O'Connell Street, me socks.
I ran out into O'Connell Street in me socks.
You want to like slur those a little bit more there, champ?
Try to see where they are. They're definitely in Dublin.
American junkies.
Yeah, they're
or Canadian junkies.
I've seen both. This looks like it's outside.
So wait, what happens in Canada when you come across the junkie? Are you just like, let's go get you some crack, eh?
You didn't voice very well. No, we got some impressive junkies downtown in my city.
I saw I don't know if he was a junkie, but when I was in Toronto, I saw a guy having a fight with someone at a crosswalk, but no one was there. He was just having a screaming match with no one, and then he crossed the street into the middle of traffic in front of us all, just yelling at us all to not try him. And then a car almost hit him, and he screams at the driver, and then he crossed the street and vanished around the corner, and we never saw him again.
That sounds like an acid trip.
That's for the best, really.
The beautiful sounds of Dublin.
I said, lovely.
Lovely. Like, this is the accent they'll never show you in Hollywood. Even Colin Farrell had to unlearn this accent. This is his natural accent. This is a proper Dublin scumbag accent.
I understand he's speaking English, but, like, translating it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Translating is secondary.
Really concentrate.
Like, already, it's hard to, like, sometimes understand
is there subtitles?
English, but, like,
yeah,
learn Irish English? Like, fuck me, I'm fucking lost in this.
Look, there is subtitles, so let's see how well they subtitled it, if they even bother to.
Subtitles are
Let's text you and go see out the girl, man. What are you doing with my car?
My car, but it's moisture sensor.
I feel like they skipped a couple words there.
Moisture. Remember that phrase.
Moisture cell.
Great YouTube video title.
Around a farm outside.
What are you doing?
I'm recording the story.
What's that?
I'm recording the story.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna ram that down that bleeding neck.
Talking about skull fucking a woman.
Swear to God,
as you do.
I'm telling you now, boys. This is the funniest thing since sliced bread, man.
This is the funniest thing since red wine.
Since always red wine. I love it.
He said the funniest thing is sliced bread, but it was translated as always red wine.
That sounds like that could be like a movie title. Since always red wine.
It does. I mean, the sequel to Sideways.
Let's be honest. Always red wine. It might very well be what he actually said.
Oh, the dude isn't slurring enough to be drunk, but he's probably in the next hour or so, assuming he doesn't shoot his stuff up in his arm again, is probably going to get a couple of cans down him. A fucking few cans of Heino, a fucking few cans of Dutch Gold.
You know what though? Love that. I think this guy's my favorite junkie ever.
He is.
I mean, I don't know if I have a favorite junkie, but if I did, he'd be. Running.
I didn't have a favorite junkie until 2 minutes ago.
That's
now
fair.
I do.
Well then, let us think who your favorite clown is, because here's a Mexican clown.
Homie the clown, obviously.
Well, I was thinking Rondell McFondle myself.
I am a fan of Rondell McFondle.
I mean, Pinwheels was pretty good.
Use your words.
Ronald McFondle.
There you go.
Clowns is pretty good, and Pinwheels was a magnum opus.
Absolutely.
I legitimately like the Pinwheel song. I don't know why Billy hates it so much.
I don't either.
Probably reminds him just how fat he was, honestly.
I mean, he did look terrible, but it was a good song.
Yeah, and obviously that's all Billy cares about.
Yeah, man. The mountain and the clown.
You make an excellent point, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, like his eye will immediately go to himself, and he'll be judging himself so harshly that it doesn't matter if he made the next multi-million-dollar winning thing. He'd be like, "Oh man, I look like shit."
Actually, Ezreal Clown Guard makes a good point. He's the best clown.
He's best clown,
and he's the guard of clowns.
But here's the thing: clown in Mexico raising awareness of COVID. I can definitely also find least respect for. Also, their trains make me think of chewing gum packets. I don't know why.
Kind of. I kind of see it now that you said it.
Yeah, it's like a juicy fruit, it's
like a Wrigley.
Mango flavor. I'm thinking.
I can see the color, but like I don't know.
I was thinking like Wrigley's cinnamon flavor.
Oh, okay. Everyone looks so depressed.
Well,
have you seen 2020? Like,
I mean, obviously,
the camera. Just like, yeah.
Oh God, Raggedy Ann, what are you doing?
So wait, is the nose just like pasted to the outside of the mask.
That's just what her nose is like. Don't make fun of her disability.
Yeah. Don't bring attention to it. Just because she has to turn tricks for seltzer in a.
I'm just saying, if I got off that train and I fucking walked by this, I would walk faster.
Yeah.
Like him, for example.
I definitely would not just let a random clown in the subway spray my hands with shit.
This is definitely one of those please don't notice me situations.
Kind of like when someone's handing out pamphlets. Oh, Hare Krishna in New York in Grand Central Station played with my beard and then tried to get me to join. And no, I didn't ask him to do that. He just did it right out of the blue, and I'm like, hi, get away from me. Hi, buddy. Do you like? What was it? What did he say? He said, "Wow, I love your beard, man." I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And then he starts pawing my beard at the same time, asking me, "Do I like meditation?" And I just went, no," and I just walked on. Fucking dick! I was already late for my train. Getting fondled by a Hare Krishna.
Nobody gets to fondle my beard unless I give them permission.
It must be like what a black woman, anytime white people play with their hair, you know?
Yeah, it's about like to practice beard consent.
Yeah. I've got this down to like 6 inches long so far, and I'm hoping to get it like all the way to the floor someday.
I'm gonna say she's got pretty eyes.
Ahorita por lo menos estoy usando productivamente el tiempo libre que tengo, entregando aquí pues esto sí nos beneficia porque
yeah,
maybe, but we'll never know, I guess.
Yeah. Do you think she's starting some fetishes here today?
Probably for the cops.
Why do you think?
Look at that cop! He's not doing his nose. He's not doing his nose right. Put your fucking mask on, buddy.
Look, the only reason that anybody would engage with this clown in the first place is because of the fetish.
They'd seek her out. Like they go, they get back on the train and then have to go through this again just to go back on to get a free hand sanitizer.
Giving everybody a free spray job.
Yes. one person gets down their knees and puts their hands out and and she's like, no, that's not what this is. Oh, have I been misreading the signals? Yeah. Who's ready for a little bit of nightmare fuel?
Oh, me.
That's already my life anyway, so what can you possibly do to me?
Dentist robot malfunctions becomes aware.
Why is the robot screaming?
I think the idea is that every time
you simulate an actual dental patient.
Yeah, every time you fuck up, you're going to get to scream to show like, oh, you fucked up, but it's broken, so it's just stuck now like this.
Look at those eyes.
Jesus Christ! Away with you, Mandalore.
That was horrifying.
Ain't it just?
Hey, Lev, you should turn off the autoplay button, buddy.
Oh yeah. Damn you, autoplay
guy.
Well, it's not like I've ever got anything that that's popped up that I've been ashamed of. I mean, if you don't like Mandalore gamers, well, that's your problem there, internet.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, I fucking love his stuff. I like his animations. They're pretty cool.
I mean, I've never seen anything, but you know.
Ooh, this is one that I've been holding on for a little while now. I haven't really gotten to. Keith Raniere. Niven, you probably heard about this. I never know how to pronounce this.
Nope.
I'm not sure that I have heard about this.
Nope.
I don't know this person.
Definitely haven't.
Okay, so there was this sort of
quite the sex though for 120 years.
Let's go on this journey together.
Okay.
Find out.
Sweet.
Keith Raniere, I'm going to call it Nivamax, even though that's not how you say it. I like the idea of it because it reminds me of like a 90s blockbuster knockoff.
Sounds good.
Nivamax. Sex cult leader sentenced to 120 years in prison. Prosecutors say Keith Raniere's self-help company was a cover for sex cult that manipulated and brainwashed dozens of victims. He kind of looks like a mixture of Julian Assange and someone else.
Kinda.
like an actor, maybe. Richard Gere. I'm seeing a bit of Richard Gere there.
He definitely, yes, you're right, but also he definitely looks like a cult leader,
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Stray self-help guru who ran a secret cult where women were brainwashed and and branded with his initials in order to
Is
have
it
sex
really
with
a secret though? If you're a self-help guru, it's expected that you're running a cult.
Oh, this is how you pronounce it. Nexium.
It really isn't though. That might be how
sounds like a Deus Ex drug.
It's Nixium.
Try Nexium. And Albany.
You can't have a V in your word and not pronounce it.
He looks so evil there. Oh my god. Look at him. You can literally hear the cackle. If you're cackling, you know you've done something wrong. But during his trial prosecutions, Nixia was called for sex cult, manipulated, brainwashed dozens of victims, putting some on starvation diets. Ooh, I'm getting Jeffrey Epstein vibes now. Victims told how they hand over embarrassing photographs, kept as collateral to keep them quiet. Yep. I've heard that's happened before with other people. One woman was testified about how she was confined to a single room for 2 years after she said she was attracted to someone else.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Members included millionaires and Hollywood actresses willing to endure humiliation. Yeah, it was basically just a dom sub fetish group that had like the veneer of a cult. But they had like millionaires in it. And most of them were like, "Oh God, there's his initials."
I don't. Why and how is it that like these cults just come up with all these rich fucks? Like, do they have nothing better to do with their time?
In many ways, they don't. Especially if they were born into it. Like, take the Kim Kardashians, Paris Hiltons of the world. Like, they were born into absolute extravagant wealth, and after a while, they'll feel the need to like just express themselves, but they're going to be so vapid in many ways that they just won't they won't have the understanding. Like Kanye has fallen victim to this because he's just so in the stratosphere of pure wealth that he doesn't really, plus he's mentally unstable. That's another key thing. A lot of these people clearly would have some sort of mental thing going on that is just being taken advantage of. Which normally I'm okay with wealthy people getting taken advantage of, but even I've got a limit for this shit, you know. Lengthy hearing, including victim statement, a criminal enterprise, including shame and guilt to influence, control conspirators who help recruit and groom sexual partners for him. Yeah. During his sentences, India, Oxford. Oh well. Including India Oxenberg, the daughter of Dynasties actress Catherine Oxenberg. India called him an entitled little princess and a sexual predator. Rest of her life for Key Rainier's initials seared onto me. Why? You can get that removed. Like that part makes no sense. Like it's not hard to get rid of that shit. You just cover it up with a tattoo for starters, or you can have it lasered, or you can have it just
even if you cover it up though, it's still technically on you.
I know, yeah, but then again, you know,
but having it not be seen does matter.
I guess, but I mean, if it's like literally burned into your flesh, like you're still gonna feel it there.
That's true.
Yeah, man, I love this news story here about an 8-year-old girl being the next King Arthur.
Yeah.
I wonder. When I saw that first, I was like,
big ass fucking sword too. Like, look at that shit.
I was wondering, is this going to be Greta Thunberg? But then I'm like, wait, she's older than 8, so.
Well, wouldn't that be amazing if it was though?
Oh, could you imagine the rage from people on the right?
The memes.
How dare you!
But yeah, it's true. The right does hate that poor little
obsessively.
Greta.
Like, what the fuck?
Look, I don't hate her. I just don't like the amount of attention that she gets from the media because it's not particularly earned.
I get that too. I think she's a bit on the cringy side, but the amount of rage that they get.
It just like upsets me because her parents basically just use her as a political tool for their own fucking agendas. Like,
true, but luckily a lot of those agendas are good things.
Do not give a fuck about like sociopolitical
as for the Q article though, it's a good reminder to all of us that you can't base your form of government on whether or not a moistened bink lobbed a scimitar at you.
Yeah.
Saga. Her name is Saga, for God's sake.
Well, that just proves that she's our new
Vanacek found the relic.
She's obviously the chosen one.
The child queen.
Look at these words. Look at these names. Saga Vanacek found the relic in the Voltestern Lake while her family holidayed with her in Jonkoping County. I have to find out how to pronounce that word. Pronunciation. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out the links down below for our Discord, Krendar's Twitch, and our guest, Lord Marcus, in his magic channel, where he does magic stuff. Not magic as you like pick a card, any card, but rather look at the stats on these cards. That's
what I just actually got these like yesterday.
The magic cards.
It's magic. Well, no, not that kind of magic cards.
The following pronunciation is brought to you by pronouncenames.com.
Pronouncenames.com.
You on shopping?
Yeah, no, my DP playing cards showed up.
What a Chinese.
You on shopping?
Yawn shopping. Yawn shopping.
Oh, you got your DP cards in. Nice.
Yeah. So like, I don't know, they're pretty cool. I like these a lot.
Not every day step in Sword in the Lake from the museum said local, but 1,500 years old, so that would definitely be proper Viking.
I used to be okay with like magic tricks with decks of cards.
Come to think of it, actually, does this make this girl King Arthur, or does this make her the Lady in the Lake?
Technically makes her the Lady in the Lake, so if she hands the card...
Depends on whether or not she gave the sword to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, no, was she in the lake when she handed it to somebody?
Yeah.
And if so, is that person now the king?
I know it was something that felt like a stick. Oh, well, it'll be hopefully weigh a lot more than just a stick.
I mean, she's probably lucky at this point that the thing's so rusted that there's no way it's sharp anymore.
No, you'd be more likely to get tetanus from it if it hadn't.
The thing looks like massive, though. Like, how could she even carry that thing?
Well, she probably
because it's been so eroded away that it's not nearly the same mass it used to be.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's almost like bigger than she is.
There's also probably a lot of air pockets in it by now.
Maybe.
Local museums now being kept extremely well preserved. Further excavation has revealed more ancient items lurking at the bottom of the lake. That's cool. My uncle found some old Roman coins up in Devon when he was a kid, and he's always kept them with him. They were from
nice.
If I remember right, they were from Hadrian. Hadrian was the emperor on the back, which is some pretty cool shit. You know what else is cool? Gorillas, or rather, they would be if they were real.
Wait, I wasn't sure if you were talking about like the band Gorillas.
They are cool too. But
are gorillas going the way of Australia?
This is this very sad individual is called, and I mean that in the literal sense because they are very mentally unwell. Hans Wormhat. I saw actual Hannah talk about them a few times, and they believe that most animals are not real, and if I'm right, everyone is secretly trans.
So they're gonna teach us that gorillas
are fake,
have something in common with Australia in that neither one exists.
Koalas also aren't real. Apparently he's done videos where he goes to the zoo and he sees a koala and he's like, that's not real, that can't be real.
I mean, are koalas actually getting close to not existing anymore?
Unfortunately,
they're endangered. Yeah.
So he's almost right.
They're not the smartest animals, and apparently they stink up close. Like, they absolutely reek.
A lot of animals do.
I know, like ferrets. I always wanted a ferret, but I heard that they absolutely stink like crazy.
Yeah.
Clip from a children's show, and also another clip that somebody sent to me. Gorillas are a huge deception. Just the great apes are all fursuits, and they're actors in fursuits.
They're fursuits.
That's right. It's rainforest, but in a rainforest.
Is this guy fucking maligning Harambe? Am I gonna have to fucking smack a motherfucker?
You'll be attacking someone with severe mental disabilities, but go right on ahead. Harambe, dicks out for Harambe.
What would Harambe want?
Harambe would probably want to not get shot, but I mean,
what? I want to look inside some of these people's heads sometimes because it's like, what if gorillas were fake? What would be the motivation for people to upkeep this charade? You know,
this is a good question. Like
he's also he's using as an example. He's starting off with Rugrats.
Well, that's always one of the first things you should ask about any conspiracy is why. Like, who benefits from this and how?
This is not a good time.
Like, I never got that about the flat Earth. Like, who the fuck?
Why is this lady's mouth on the opposite side of her face from her phone?
What, you never watched Rugrats in the 90s?
No.
Mrs. Pickles. What do you mean they won't let us have the gorilla? Of course we take good care of it.
Doesn't everybody's mouth migrate from side to side of their face?
In Africa for 3 years.
I mean, the teacher's mouth looks normal. What the hell's with this lady?
Every character in Rugrats has some weird fucking deformity.
Yeah, they were ugly as shit.
Of course we.
Yeah, the kids are definitely hideous.
They say gorilla. Look at those hand signs. The triad claw.
Oh, for God's sake! He thinks that there's some sort of hidden message.
Cartoon, like
take good care of it. You're getting a gorilla? I lived with them in Africa.
And then, of course, the devil horns, when this person is saying that they lived with the gorillas in Africa for 3 years. They hold double devil horns up. And cartoons are just a huge example of people throwing hands.
If there was a massive conspiracy, why the fuck would they why would they bother to put little messages inside your shit? If everyone's in on the conspiracy, you don't need to have your secret codes. You can just
see that in so many. You see that in so many of these theories.
Yeah, like
why are all these people hiding things and then leaving
in plain sight, or so many people are in on
it? If it was like secret codes at a zoo or something.
I just love that gorilla. Just gorilla.
No, but okay, let's pretend that there were people like on the inside that were trying to send out a message. Like, wouldn't they be sending out a message like from a zoo or fucking something like that? Like, why
they wouldn't be put it in.
How would they even get access to something like this to send a message through this?
They spent decades in Nickelodeon building themselves up just so they could be in like the writing room for that
inside Nickelodeon. Yeah.
If you had the ability to spend decades within Nickelodeon, like, why couldn't you just go on a blog and like tell people like, yo?
Yeah, it was the 90s. There were blogs at that point.
I don't get this. Like, this wouldn't be the outlet I'd choose if I was trying to spill the beans on a conspiracy.
Drawn by hand, and each frame.
By the way, can you turn this guy up?
Draw it?
Sure.
Well, they spent a lot of time focusing on what the hands of these characters would do.
Unfortunately.
And I think this is part of how people learn what the different signs mean. I think that it's a big thing when you're talking about a satanic deception, throwing up your devil horns. And
is he
I've seen people
Mario?
do this. And
he might as well be.
Okay, for the record, let's say Satan isn't real, so...
No, really?
No.
I mean, obviously.
I never knew.
Yeah, no, I this might come as a shock to some of your audience. Satan's not real. So he's not sending out secret messages through this shit. The devil horns aren't like a fucking like secret Konami code for Satan. That doesn't work like that.
Day-to-day stuff. For example, my brother will be reciting some story, and
I'll let him ramble
look
on
at his hands,
because I've never seen past the Rugrats
showing off devil
clip.
horns, and it's like, why are you holding your hands like that as you tell a story? I mean,
the animators were bored. I don't know.
Maybe they wanted her to do like this, and they just didn't. Whatever. Like, we'll just make it.
She also only has 4. Like, I don't know. Like.
That's
2, weird.
3, 4, 5. She's got 5 fingers.
Okay, no, this one is correct. But
yeah, I know a lot of cartoons tend to have 44 fingers.
They're really weirdly shaped, though.
But yeah, you're surrounded by people that speak with their hand signs.
Yeah, but no, like look at her like index finger. It's like
gorilla.
actually bigger than all the other fingers, and it's not how that should be proportioned.
Yeah.
Now,
They never really did have that much budget in the old 90s Nickelodeon cartoons. Even great ones like, say, Hey Arnold. They didn't.
Oh
really,
yeah.
They very poor. They're very poor looking at times.
That's the show that where literally all the characters' heads were like shaped after different items. Like Eugene was like a can with the lid open, and Arnold was like a football.
Yeah. Everyone looked bizarrely shaped. Or Ed, Edd and Eddy, the way their outlines always moved in a weird sketch at all times. They never stood still.
Yeah.
Which gave it its own unique style, but looking back on it, it was dirty as fuck as far as the.
I think that's part of what made Ed, Edd and Eddy really good. That was like
especially
that sloppy.
Especially
I love
early
the
episodes.
sloppy animation style.
The early episodes, like the one where they just try to record everything and it just breaks down into this weird surrealist sort of day trip. It's just fucking.
Somebody sent me this, and it's because how silly they look. You can tell that they're actors in fursuits. When you know the secret, it's like
accidental
knowing
brilliance.
The
What can I
magician's
say?
secret. It's more obvious.
Why are there cartoon sound effects added to this?
I don't know, but I don't think he did it either because he.
You can't deny they don't fit perfectly, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love watching apes. I love
happening.
watching apes.
No, they totally do. This is perfect.
It's more obvious.
I love watching apes run. They're so funny looking.
It looks like somebody just has a fucking cartoon sound effect soundboard and they're just pressing random buttons.
What is this? What is this like? This frame going on here? It's like an old 8mm home video. Like
that's how they recorded this.
Bad one. Yeah. Okay, those noises were pretty annoying, but I'll play it one more time.
Why? Why not just mute it?
These are
that
fine questions
beyond his capabilities.
I think there's a lot of things beyond this person's capabilities, if we're honest.
I wouldn't be surprised if he thought that time zones were a conspiracy.
You don't realize that they are?
Very well trained.
You didn't know that?
Because they're actors inside a fursuit.
Time sort of is a conspiracy, though, because it doesn't work the same for everybody.
At the right time, and they never try to escape. And they're always putting on a show.
The more we learn about quantum physics, the more we learn about time is a conspiracy.
Like apes try to escape all the time. Do you remember the do you remember Grendar? Do you remember the ape that slammed on the glass in Omaha?
Yeah.
That zoo also has a famous orangutan which escaped 5 times. One time by literally picking the lock in its cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they escape all the time.
They're pretty smart.
Tourism.
Like
our prized tourism gem, the gorillas. I liked this. Have since March been reproducing as if they have a timeline to adhere to.
What does that even mean?
Or maybe they just like to fuck.
Yeah, they're wild animals and they're stuck together. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, they do have timelines to adhere to. These are just fursuits, and the baby.
Does that mean that they're fucking in fursuits in front of everyone?
I don't understand the connection between
and how is the baby when it's
timeline
born?
and the fursuits. Can we back that up for a second?
There
Where
is no
did we
connection.
get fursuits from?
He thinks all apes are people in fursuits.
Okay, but why?
No. You see, you're using logic. That doesn't exist in this man's existence.
Okay. I have a better question. If apes were never real in the first place, how did we know how to make the fursuits look like them?
Well, somebody made it up one day, obviously.
Yeah, they had a big the Illuminati when they were sucking down on the adrenochrome all had a big sort of meeting, and they just had a few concept arts.
Okay, so when exactly was the concept of the ape first invented?
Probably.
Like when did they make the first ape fursuit?
Probably in
19 tickety boo. That's when.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna say.
I feel like this just falls apart when you ask
but...
the most cursory of questions.
You can see baby apes get born. Does that mean the baby was given a fursuit in the womb? And it knew instinctively how to put it on?
These are just really realistic looking puppets. Little, you know those baby dolls that they sell that are really realistic looking, and they'll even go out of their way to put heating elements and
I'm speeding
a little breathing mechanism.
I know the answer to this question, so it's rhetorical in nature, but he does know that like the technology we use to make fursuits now did not always exist throughout the entirety of human history, right?
And also, let's be honest here, I've seen some pretty awesome looking fursuits. There's nothing in comparison to like an actual real animal. Like, have you like even an animatronic super up close?
I don't know. I think Cool Cat's pretty convincing. Like, I could confuse Cool Cat with an actual cat.
Well, of course, most actual cats.
What are you talking about? He is an actual cat.
Yeah, I mean, just ask his good friend Darty Derek when he's not stripping for money and yelling at
when he's not stripping for money and seducing cats
or screaming at "I hate everything" online.
Animals, their media sensation animals will always be present in the media around the sources. I always refer back to the
Half-Bred Ninja. I just want to get to the point where I understand where they are, when and where they decided to come up with the concept of gorillas to impersonate with fursuits. Like, because theoretically there should be a point in history where there were no gorillas before that point because they hadn't been created yet.
And what was the end goal of it? Like, what was it lacking? What was the grand scheme plan to take over the world for the Satanic Illuminati?
Here's an idea. Maybe they faked some thousands of years of history before the decision point and they just went back in all the books and shit and just drew in gorillas, and they're like, see, look, they were
you don't actually think that the world is more than 200 years old, do you? All those ruins are just big conspiracies.
You know, that's always a good question to start with too. Anybody who believes a conspiracy theory like this, you should ask them how old they think the world is.
Yeah, because some will say usually religious. He is actually religious. He is like Christian and things like that. So, but he's also very sad. Obviously, a very sad man. But he also believes. There's a video he puts out where he's saying that he's very depressed, and he goes into stories about why people at work are very angry to him. And as he talks, you realize that they come up, anyone who gives him the time of day, they go up to him and ask, like, how is he doing? And he just goes into this shit. And then they get really freaked out and try to back off, and then he thinks that, oh, they're in on the conspiracy too. Like, he doesn't put two and two together.
They clearly are. They asked him how he was doing. They're obviously in on the conspiracy.
Absolutely, like no one who isn't a deep state agent would ask him, like, why, what difference is that? Is like,
how do you benefit from knowing how he's doing? Huh?
Yeah.
If you paid attention to the media, you would think that the only animal that's being affected by the wildfires are the koalas. It's like, do any other animals live in Australia besides the koala? That's supposed to
no other animals live in Australia.
I'm not sure that's why they would tell you.
It's just koalas.
No animals live in Australia. It doesn't exist either.
Yeah, the sound stage that they filmed Australia in is the only creatures there are the koalas that aren't real.
Media story.
That's one of my favorite things to do as well.
But you never
anytime somebody spouts conspiracy stuff, you respond back to them with an even bigger conspiracy than the one that they just told you, and you're just like, oh, you still believe that? Like, I can't believe it. Like, educate yourself sometime. You think the Earth is flat?
Man, we've been visited by aliens.
It's actually a turtle shell. Or it's like it's a donut shape.
We've been visited by aliens. You believe in aliens? Actually, a lot of flat earthers don't believe in space. So obviously aliens are fake too.
You don't believe in space at all?
Yeah, the dude, you might have remembered him. Do you remember the guy who went up to the NASA guy in the sandwich place and harassed him? He doesn't believe that space is real at all. Period.
So what's outside of our atmosphere?
It's the dome. It's a dome conspiracy that, like, we're all in a sort of bubble.
Who built the dome?
Probably God and
why?
Yeah, like, because remember it's mentioned in the Bible or like ancient religions that, like, we're not like the firmament and things like that. I personally like to believe that that's Aetherius up there, and we're all in a future version of the Elder Scrolls.
So they think that the Earth is the only thing that exists?
Yeah, like, and of course it's flat too. But like, there's no the stars aren't real, or they're made, or they're just like flickers of light on like the ceiling of the Earth. Because that's
like they're the Earth's night lights.
No, yeah, it's like the Earth has a planetarium. It's like the Earth is a planetarium, and you have, like, you know, the IMAX like thing on this ceiling.
Don't you mean planetarium?
I knew you'd do
Yeah.
that. I knew you'd do that. Welcome to the planetarium.
We get is the BS. We just all they talk about is koalas.
But if I know anything about like the domes, like the Simpsons movie told me there should be a little hole in the center of it that you should be able to go through. So why hasn't anybody tried to go through the hole in the center?
All right.
And now with this, with the virus story of this year, I've seen so many stories about orangutans, chimpanzees, and gorillas. You don't see stories about squirrels potentially getting it or skunks potentially getting it.
Actually, big shock! I can actually poke holes in his argument.
That's not exactly an accomplishment, though.
Let's see, it might be here.
I would be disappointed in you if you couldn't poke holes in his argument.
Here it is. Coronavirus. Should we worry about mutation of COVID in Danish mink? A mink factory noticed COVID mutated into ferrets. Which I'm not a big fan of mink for obvious reasons, but little known fact: my dad's first job was in a mink factory, and he told me how to kill a ferret. So I now know how to kill a ferret, which is very mean, but.
Why would you want to kill a ferret? They're so you can
skin it and then make it into a coat.
That's horrifying,
isn't it? Just.
Welcome to mink coats.
Yep, almost like they're completely unnecessary in this day and age because you can get even softer pelts that are all artificial. But yeah, there's no reason.
So is this like though, legitimately a thing? Like, is this real or is this bullshit?
Wait! You actually didn't know about mink coats? Like,
no, I did.
The COVID thing.
No, the COVID.
Oh no, this is real. I took a shape. We're about to roll out. Nutsiga's nightmare scenarios are taking no chances. They've been dealing with mutated strain of the virus that has been sparking through mink fur farms for a while.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Jumped back into humans, but the stakes were raised when it was confirmed that the virus had jumped back into the humans. So that means from the ferrets. So 12 people got it from ferrets. Yeah,
thanks 2020.
I was gonna say, doesn't it keep getting worse?
The planet's just gotten sick of humans being on it.
It does kind of feel like the happening to some degree, doesn't it? Like the universe is kind of just like done with us.
Oh, this is definitely a happening.
What? No. We're all gonna die. Mutating every fortnight or so. The virus being mutated every Oh, we're done with Gorilla Boy. I mean, like he's just he thinks that these are all like. I think this is explaining it, but I mean, what knowledge do you think?
Let's not use that word to describe what he was doing, okay?
Yeah, don't mansplain gorillas to us.
Why is Maleficent there at the end? I wouldn't be surprised if he actually thinks that she is.
I don't want to ask that question.
Obviously.
I honestly don't know. Oh, this is one that you sent there, Kren.
Yeah.
Cow caught chewing large python in northern Australia, which of course is all staged. This is a sound stage, probably somewhere around the corner from where you are, because the world's only 15 miles long.
This is also true. I've walked it many times.
Gobsmacked outback worker has captured photos of caravan trying to swallow a snake.
And it's such a great word, isn't it?
Gobsmacked. Yeah.
I love that word.
Deserved sand over highway.
Solid word.
It's so descriptive.
I wonder why I was doing that.
This story is basically checkmate vegans. Not even cows are purely vegetarian.
From like Futurama. Animals eat each other all the time. That's not true. We taught a lion to eat tofu, and it's like it's completely
sickly.
Yeah.
I want to just fucking like strangle all those people who try to like make their cats vegan. Like that is
cruel. Yeah, that's 100% cruel. That's like people trying to. If I remember right, I heard a story of a trans person who wouldn't get any. They wanted to adopt an animal, but they wanted to adopt a hermaphrodite animal only. So they completely, like, they had to look far and wide to find an animal that was a mutant. In cats, there's a high percentage of mutations. So eventually they found it, and in the process, probably a lot of cats were put down because, like, they weren't interested because they were going to be one or the other gender. Like, fuck's sake, that's like borderline Jessica naive level of mental disability going on there.
Now, something I'm wondering about this article, I didn't look into it too much in depth because I was saving it for the show, but did this cow actually, like, hunt and kill a live snake, or is it like eating an already dead snake? Is this carrion, or did he hunt it down?
Here we are. Mr. Gert said he couldn't figure out how the non-venomous snake head came to be in the cow's mouth. Speculating the cow might have stepped on it or disturbed the snake that then latched onto its tongue. Western cows known to chew on carrion. I didn't know that.
So probably the snake was dead, or at least did something to kill itself. I don't know.
So they're omnivores?
Technically.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I never knew that.
Also, apparently cannibals, because they're eating other dead cows sometimes.
Chewing both protein and trace elements. Interesting. Never knew that. Seen one phase by usual. Oh my God! It's Troy McClure was right. Don't kid yourself, Billy. If given a chance, a cow would kill you and everyone you held dear, and it slowly pans into its face.
Look, this is why we have to eat hamburgers. Okay.
This is why we all have to go to Bovine University.
I'm doing my part.
I saw this a little bit ago. Man was banned from Yellowstone after trying to fry a chick. Oh, damn. Never mind. No, that's not what I was shocked by. Up here in the corner, you can just make it out. I don't want to turn off my ad blocker right now, so we're not going to go look at it. A man was just was banned from it because he was trying to fry up a chicken.
Can I say, though, I respect the balls of that man for trying to cook his chicken in a hot spring.
Yeah.
I like his energy on this. I think that he's got the right idea.
Right here is Biden, and I noticed the little blue bar has gone over the 70 part. So let's have a look. Let's reload this and see. Could be a snow night, or we may not need. Oh no, not yet, by the looks of it.
Look, it's basically done. All right, you can trust it at this point.
But still, I want to be there for the moment. I want to actually be on camera.
There isn't going to be a moment, though. That's what I'm.
It will, but it'll just be a token.
No, it's not going to be a moment because it's going to be challenged in courts for weeks.
Yeah, but it's going to be dismissed in courts too because he's got no basis for it.
The moment will be the point at which the last court case is dismissed.
I wonder if he's going to turn to the Proud Boys and Boogaloo Boys for like a militia sort of uprising that's going to get shut down so quick.
Yeah, well, like that's the thing that we should really be looking forward to.
Yeah, I look forward to a very brief failed coup. Hopefully, a few people online that we might know might die in Minecraft. That's what I'm going to say.
Look, Trumpster Bob said he's going to move to Brazil, and Brett Keane said he's deleting himself from the internet.
Whoa. Keane's leaving? Shit.
Yeah, he said he was going to delete his channel and his BitChute and everything.
Whoa, Brett Keane's leaving the internet. That's the end of an era. That's the end of an era.
Here's the real question. When he does leave, how many days will that last until he comes back?
Days?
3.
All right. How many hours?
3.
I'd say 14 hours at the best, only because he's got to sleep.
Well, I woke up today and decided I'm not going to just leave the internet.
Yeah.
I promised this in the titles, and we're getting to it. I have been on a bit of a pickup artist cringe compilation.
Welcome to Gord TV Radio.
Gord TV. You know what he needs to get himself a little ham radio and do that instead.
I like the guy who makes fun of that and he made the website.
Hey guys, no, I saw
Smoke Signal Telegram or whatever.
Yes, I love that one. Now these are old. Gary the Blasian. He's a sort of borderline incel pickup artist, and he filmed himself. Him and his friend filmed himself trying to pick up women, and I don't think he realizes nearly every one of his videos are colossal, embarrassing failures.
Also, I think it's weird that I've never heard the term Blasian until like even a month ago. I'd never heard the word Blasian before, but now I'm hearing it left, right, and center these days.
Blasian.
you guys walking towards me. I thought y'all were adorable. I had to say hello. My name is Gary. Who are you?
I'm Alexa.
Alexa, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Lindsay.
Lindsay, pleasure.
Hey.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
What?
I was just trying to ask you to pause it. What did you say?
The word blurred?
Nope.
Yeah, it's apparently like black nerd. I've heard people use that term before.
Why do we need a special name?
I don't know, but
everyone needs.
I've seen it before,
type.
so I know it's out there in the ether somewhere.
People are weird, aren't they?
Whatever makes them happy, I guess.
I guess. All right,
we're gonna.
Happy fucking New Year, yeah. What are you guys gonna do to bring in the fucking New Year?
Oh god, he's one of those people who has everything has to have fucking and fucking and fucking. It's because he thinks it makes him sound edgy. I mean, he's wearing this is called peacocking in the community, by the way. You wear increasingly ridiculous looking hats, and the idea is that they're
edgelord.
Yeah, the idea is that they're meant to be like starter, like they're conversation starters. But I mean, if you see me wearing a hat, it's just because the coat I'm wearing, it kind of matches it well, like the big trench coat thing. And
I don't know what you're talking about, Lev. I don't understand what you could possibly mean by using a hat as a conversation starter. I don't get it.
Hanging out. Yeah.
Hanging out.
Word. Boyfriend's house. So.
Nice. Where's that at?
Whenever a random woman tells you immediately boyfriend, if she mentions boyfriend, that's a giant red flag. That dude, back the fuck off. Like,
also, buddy, if there's no way it could be anything other than creepy if you're asking her where her boyfriend lives.
Yeah, and remember, like he literally just walked up to them in the street,
and he's like, "Where's that at? Like, where's your
I
boyfriend's
understand
house?"
why he's doing it because, like, a lot of them will just use like "I have a boyfriend" as an excuse to say "Go away from me, I don't want to talk to you."
Yeah, but
So
even if they have to
he's-
use the excuse, that's a big sign.
No, all right, hold on. The theory is that they're going to try to like poke holes in the story by trying to ask for details that they obviously don't have if they just made it up on the spot. But like the point is, if somebody tells you I have a boyfriend, just take the fucking hint and just like leave them alone.
Right.
Like
It's
that's
the
where
logic
conversation
where
should just
no isn't no doesn't mean no. It's the same principle. Like they just got to keep digging the grave. And trust me, I've seen this one. This is pretty fucking bad.
Around here.
Nice meeting you.
Look at him. He's trying to go into someone's random house party. He's just at the front door. Oh no, he's dancing outside like he's a part of the oh, I'm just one of the party guys.
Yo! Entertainment!
Entertainment, no.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Damn.
I'm still waiting. What?
You didn't see?
No. Go back about 5 seconds.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, this is so painful to watch. Look at his head. Look at his head. He's like a baby's head. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck down. Yeah, they just turned the light off so they can ignore him.
So you wouldn't have to see him anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Fuck him.
Yeah,
that was perfect.
Oh, he's like, I've dropped the ball more times, and I've had the ball dropped on me more times. Like I've told the story of the girl who was shit-faced and tried to kiss me, and like I was not having any of it, and she just fell straight forward, missed me, and fell straight forward on the ground. But I mean, even then, you can argue she was just drunk. But like this
dude,
dude.
The thing here is though.
What?
Gary the Blasian is not like an ugly dude or anything. Like there's no reason why he needs to be this sad.
Pickup artists, MGTOWs are really ugly. It's just that they've trained themselves to have this ridiculous idea of how romance and like sex works.
That's probably what it is, yeah.
And it's
E-I-E-I-O. And on his farm, he had a carabao. E-I-E-I-O. And the carabao went.
He knows exactly what's going on, and he's like, "Oh God, I just wanted to sit down on my lunch break. Now I have to listen to this train wreck happen."
Carabao?
Yep. Carabao?
What is a carabao?
It's this big ox-like thing. Actually, I don't even know. But he makes probably like a grunting noise of some sort. So, if you can grunt.
I'm not grunting.
Sure, you can do it.
No, you can do
it. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the song goes.
Next animal?
And on his farm, he had a giraffe. I'm just picking out all the hard-ass animals for you. Because I don't know what the fuck a giraffe sounds like.
Like a horse. There you go.
The fucking shit, yeah.
Icebreaker, but now you're just...
Keep going.
Yeah, you have to like...
and on his farm, he had a duck.
Quack, quack.
E-I-E-I-O.
That's definitely getting cringe.
Getting cringe. Some MGTOW I'm just reading Ezreal's comment down here because again, sorry guys, this is how I've been reading the comments for the past few episodes, so I have to stop every once in a while and read this. But some MGTOW make a good point regarding the legal system, but they seem to don't know what a paperless marriage is. Yeah, I do agree with them when it comes down to like how the legal system deals with, say, single parents, dads, in particular. But my God, that's the only thing I can say. That's the only thing I can say in their defense, because MGTOW are, I think, in many ways worse than incels.
There's a couple different issues, you know. Custody hearings is one of them. Alimony is another big one, and like prison sentencing, there's a huge disparity in it.
So
like there are legitimate things that they have to say, but the problem is it also tends to be like tacked onto this kind of cringy bullshit.
Yeah.
So like nobody fucking takes it seriously.
There's something as well that they don't really talk about. There is a double standard when it comes down to women in certain levels of the dating scene. Not to imply that like women don't have like major problems they have to deal with, but like when it comes down to, say, a woman being able to be incredibly choosy on, say, a dating website, that's 100% true. Like I remember ContraPoints would go on to Tinder before she came out as trans and after. So she'd go on as a cis male, and then she went on as a female. And I don't know if she declares herself to be trans or whatever. But the difference is night and day. Like a sea of dick or a sea of nothing. You know. Like, because women can be incredibly picky. Plus, also, men aren't praised for being good looking as much as a woman is. Like, the idea of like male beauty, male attractiveness is nowhere the same as female beauty. And I think more men need to be comfortable with just how they look. Way more men need to be more comfortable.
Like
with how they look.
I am definitely very sympathetic to a lot of like these sort of points that they tend to mention in these groups, but like, I don't know. There's just something about the fucking people that run them that I just want nothing to do with.
No, I mean,
because
like
it's because of shit like this.
So. Like those weird message boards where they basically judge each other's bodies, and they're like, "Oh, you're disgusting looking. You should kill yourself." They egg each other on to commit suicide or go on like murder sprees. They the people like Roosh V, who before he found Jesus, like going on massive sort of like tirades about how if a woman orgasms during sex, then you've already lost the war. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you freaks?
Yeah. What war?
There's this constant war between the genders, a lot of these MGTOW, these pickup artists believe. And it's just No, this isn't. Like, there's just so much going on there it's surreal to watch.
When a woman orgasms, everybody wins.
Yeah.
You win and she wins. It's a team effort.
Like, hell, I remember watching DFF's MGTOW and Incel episode. Probably one of their best episodes, if not their outright best episode, in my opinion, so far, anyway. And they watched a dude who said he doesn't even really like to have sex. He just needs to show his dominance by coming in her as quickly as possible to show that she can't take advantage of him. What sort of mental gymnastics is that? Like, where the hell did he get this fucking bullshit from?
I don't know.
This guy is just clearly unaware of just how embarrassing he is. But, like, these other people who will, like, go out of their way to basically catfish and ruin women's lives or treat them as, like, commodities, like, they're sick. They're really sick. And you can say, they're just a perfect example of the patriarchy and shit like that. Okay, that's a conversation to have for a different point. But, like, most men, no matter how conservative you are, like, at the very least, they want women to be happy. Even, like, fundamentalist Islamics often want a woman to be happy. They just have an idea that is completely opposite of most what women want. But...
It's like I say, like, there's no one group on this planet that has a fucking monopoly on insanity and stupidity.
No, absolutely not.
It doesn't matter what the fuck you're talking about. There is some fucking fraction or percentage of whatever group it is that is just, like, off the fucking rails, like, really?
T-posing is 100% dominance there.
Yeah, T-posing is how you assert dominance. Absolutely.
It's how, when two people have a fight, instead of punching each other, they just try to make the longest T-pose, and whoever becomes an airplane
that
first
would make the world
wins.
a better place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like instead of a boxing match.
I just had a great idea.
The
best way to stage a protest, just have everybody at the protest stand in front of whatever they're protesting and T-pose at it.
What if they did, like, a finishing move that was like a T-pose tornado?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's not a T-pose. That's a spinning lariat. They're just being Zangief then.
Oh, shit, yeah. Maybe after you beat it, Gorbachev will appear in a helicopter and give you a thumbs up.
You know, I am amused by this T-posing thing, and I almost regret to have to say that means that Nick Fuentes actually did one thing that I approve of, and that's when he T-posed at people in real life.
Like,
how else is he going to make himself look intimidating?
It reminds me of that stupid, like, planking thing that, like, people did all the time, and I never really understood it.
That one was legitimately kind of funny though. Just
the flash mob.
People were just doing nonsensical things just to be silly.
Nowadays, oh god, have you seen what the latest trend on TikTok was? It was fucking Holocaust.
I have not seen the latest trends on TikTok.
They dressed up as concentration camp victims about to be gassed.
Yeah. No, not about to be gassed. People have already been gassed, and now they're talking to you after they're dead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I want to be part of that conversation.
I didn't. I
I
thought,
don't want
like,
to get canceled yet.
There's not even like any reason, but like, who came up with the idea? Probably the first person who came up with the idea was more of a sort of a joke, playing it off, and then someone took it seriously, and then it became a beautiful sense of solidarity. Fuck off! What the hell is wrong with you, you fucking bougie little snotlings? You snotling hollows, you, all of you.
Well, you just answered the question right there. They're bougie.
Yeah. Remember what you were saying, like when we were talking about the cult. They just have more money than sense and too much time on their hands. They have
literally nothing better to do with their time.
Let's watch the end of this, and then I believe, Brendar, we should be wrapping it up as it's almost 1 a.m. So we've been doing it for about 2 hours.
Good,
yeah. We've been trying to. From here on out, I'll be trying to rein back the episodes. Obviously, we're going to have longer episodes.
I mean, it's okay if we go like 15-20 minutes.
Oh, of course. I mean, we have
sometimes.
A
lot of the time.
And we still have a very important guest, our avatar of whimsy and music to bring on. But
indeed,
whimsy.
I'm excited.
There's a word I don't normally put with him, whimsy, but it technically applies.
Oh, McDonald's.
Let's just watch the end of this.
I grew up on that shit.
I grew up on that shit. Old McDonald's.
Didn't everybody, guy?
Hey there, youngsters.
Bye, Miss American. Bye.
No. The guy who was filming
we gotta get this guy in for the next Cringerweight Championship.
Oh, there is actually a lot
I
of
could
them.
definitely see that.
He needs to be in the running.
This was uploaded earlier today.
I want to see Trumpster Bob go up against somebody.
He already is going to be on the next one, so.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, he's going.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, our avatar of whimsy and music himself, Katy Perry. I Kissed a Girl covered.
Is this my boy Buff Carell?
It is indeed.
You know it is. We have a tradition on our show where we always end the show with some Buff Carell.
If you see Buff Carell, you've missed the bulk of the show.
How's your boy Buff Crow, baby? Back him up with the lows. You gonna get down, Buff Crow. 1, 2, 3, 5. Gonna cut it down once again. Count it down on the tummy.
Last week's guest was very impressed with this man.
Tums. Anyways, we don't know nothing about the tum tums. Anybody
I mean, he is very impressive. Like, he obviously takes care of himself very, very well.
He takes himself, mentally is.
He's got a lot of confidence and like a good self-image. He just sounds like a fucking dying rat.
Yeah, he clearly, I don't think he's violent, but I wouldn't, for example, leave a toddler with him. Something tells me he just let it starve and then be like, oh yeah.
You just forget.
Every time doing a Katy Perry joint, I never done this one before. I kissed a girl, so let's give out for the doozy.
The doos.
Okay.
But if somebody broke into the house, he would beat the shit out of them and save that toddler.
Let's be real, Mr. Carell. You haven't done any song yet, all right? You've tried to do many songs.
Actually, he did a pretty good job on WoW. To be fair. But he forgot how to dance in that one. Because he was actually singing properly.
He's really good at dancing, too.
We figured out that he can sing okay and he can dance well. He just can't do both
together
at
the same time. Yeah, he has to focus on one.
One of them will suffer if he does the other one well.
I can imagine half his brain just radiating heat as he focuses on a single task. It must be hell from making breakfast in the morning.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Imagine trying to read a newspaper and taking a shit. Fuck, that's gotta be difficult.
Yeah.
Just wanna try you.
Ooh.
Curious for you. Cut my addiction. I kissed the girl and I liked it.
His voice is pretty rough on this one.
Because he is failing hard on the song.
I just imagine him playing Rock Band and he's just missing every fucking vocal note on it.
Oh, I can just picture that. You suck.
I don't think I can pull off Rock Band. This guy definitely can't.
No, I don't even know your name.
No, he dances fucking way better than I can, so I gotta give him that.
I love the stories he makes with his. Imagine listening to this completely mute and just trying to create the stories up from the interpretive dance that he does. What tale is he trying to tell?
Probably get better entertainment that way.
Well, when we get shit faced, we should watch a Buff Carell really expressive dance, and we'll just create a story out of it.
Actually, no. Here's what you got to do. Get a muted Buff Carell song, but don't tell me what song it is.
Ooh, I don't know how I do. I'd have to edit the video. I could do that. I just crop out the title up there in the corner.
Yeah, just put a censoring bar up there for the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Oh, Bill has a good idea.
Let's hear it.
Buff Carell should sing "Girl, You Deserve an Oscar."
Hell, when I'm done here, I'm actually going to post that down because he always wants suggestions.
Oh God!
You know what my favorite thing about You Deserve an Oscar is when people are made to watch the whole thing, and then the shock on their face is when it moves into the hip hop section and it becomes good.
Yes. The hip hop section is almost good.
It's
not
very close to good.
It's like right underneath the line of where you could say, okay, this is like.
I would actually call it kind of good.
I would not claw my ears off if I heard it. I wouldn't listen to it on purpose, but
it's definitely like 10 miles ahead of the other parts of the song.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's so long, like that video, it just feels like it goes on for a fucking eternity.
Most torture tends to.
It's actually only 10 seconds long, but it felt like 5 hours.
It's actually a MK Ultra test to see can we alter the perception of time. That's right, point at the ground. Point at it hard.
I just like to remind everybody that spend time doing vocal warm-up before the singing. It really pays off as you can hear.
I like the hoedown, stamping his foot and raising his knee. He needs a cowboy hat for this part. Oh, keep away from those high notes, Buff, please.
You said he takes suggestions. Send him some westerns.
He sounded like a dying moose there.
Send him some really good western music. Classic stuff.
Oh, I need to clip that. I just need to clip that.
Send him a Johnny Cash song.
Craig, do you think we should try to clip this? This part here.
Oh God, it hurts every time.
Ouch.
He sounds like one of those people who's trying to shatter a wine glass.
He must have some pretty great windows, in all fairness.
Here's what you do, love. When you send him a suggestion of a video he does, make sure you let him know that we feature him on our show every week, and we'll make sure that we'll show.
We'll watch the end of this, and I'll put it. You'll see it in the comments right there.
Good taste of cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. Hope my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so. Don't mean I in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it.
It's also so like weird to see him on the right side and also in the reflection at the same time.
Yeah.
You double the Corel for your money.
Yeah, you would think that you'd want to either be in front of the camera or behind it, not both.
Let's see. Buff. All right.
I like the comment about how he's somebody's inspiration.
Really?
Can't believe Katy Perry impersonating Buff Corell like that. Buff Corell might not see this, but you're my inspiration. Always carry self-love personality as you always make content yourself dancing. You don't care what people think of you. Damn right. That's why I like Buff Corell.
Well,
how many fucking subscribers does he have?
That was a real low
300
right there, actually.
53,000. I know. Yeah, it depends on how you look at it.
Christ.
Oh, he is a perfect example of a level of quality. It might not be great quality, but it's there. And but quantity. The amount of shit he puts out every day.
He does 3 things, and 2 of them are really good. But the third one is really, really bad. Mm-hmm. He's like one of those fucking RPG characters where you put like all your points into fucking strength and constitution, and then you have no points in wisdom. And you're just like, I'll be fine. It'll be okay.
That's Krendar's same idea, isn't it? Like the dumb stat was what, like charisma or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah. But he's got way high strength and strength, constitution, and dexterity.
Yeah. You took like a 3 in fucking charisma.
What's the name of the damn? It's like Mo Summers, isn't it? The guy who does. You deserve an Oscar.
I don't
Sounds
know.
right.
I could find out. I have a link to it.
I've got. Here it is. Mo L. Summers Oscar.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Have you played this on your show before? Does like everybody?
Yeah, we've brought it once or twice.
Terrifying.
It is beyond horrific.
It's pretty bad. Oh my god. You know what I'm wondering though? If Buff Carell started the rap portion of this song, do you think he might do a good job with it?
Maybe. Because
it's not like...
That's why he did well with WAP, because it wasn't really singing. It was
no, it's not like singing there. It's just like talking fast, and I think he might actually like do a passable job with it.
Yeah, no, he did okay with WAP, so maybe.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Hey, Buff, I run a podcast, and at the end of every ep, we have a video from you, and we can't get enough. Keep it up. Also, if you do watch this, would you do a cover of Mo L. Summers' Oscar? We'll be forever grateful. Fingers fucking crossed.
You need to tell me if this happens.
I'll post it up on if you're not already.
Absolutely.
Do join? Hell, I'll post it up on my Twitter. You know, like fairy tales can't come true. It can happen to you, and it's just a screenshot of
Like,
him.
I need
tagged.
to know the very fucking second that happens. Because I will drop. I don't care if I'm in the middle of fucking freeway traffic. I will drop everything I'm doing to go and watch that.
No, I'll give you one better, Magicus. If this happens, we are going to invite him on the show as a guest.
Of course! Oh my god, we so would. Oh, I'd love that.
But let him respond to this first.
Yeah, baby steps. You know, don't for it. He's a busy Carell. He posts out so much content. Those
It takes
guns.
a lot of time to be so buff.
Yeah, those guns don't grow on trees. They grow through a lot of swole and pumped iron.
They don't grow on trees, they just grow like trees.
Damn right. The strong, powerful oaks of Buff Carell. All right, so I think we'll reload this one more time. I think we should wrap it up here. I want to get back into bed. Honestly, I'm exhausted. I've been eating nothing but giant pizza all day, and I think it's now
Old Apache pizza in Ireland.
Yeah,
Giant pizza sounds fucking awesome,
dude. Discord show picture before go. Oh no, I don't want to fuck with the picture. I don't want to fuck with that. I can show another picture of it. Let's just.
I mean, it's not. It's a sort of standard looking pizza. It's just that it's pretty big.
I couldn't fit it in the front door, basically.
Okay, that sounds amazing. Where do I get this and how? Like,
it was from Apache's. Yeah, it was Apache's Pizza. I asked for the largest pizza they had, and they gave me. They gave me the largest pizza they had, as far as I could tell.
I don't know of any place around here that would make a pizza so big I couldn't get it through the front door.
I was not prepared for it, and I was just laughing the whole time. It was brilliant.
Did you not know like how much it was, like based on the cost of it? Like,
I knew it was going to be huge. I knew it was going to be huge, but I did not know it was going to be so huge. Like the thing was just insane.
So this is like something you're going to be eating for the next week, I take it.
At least 3 days.
Yeah, definitely 3 days. It's about 5 slices left. It's in the microwave right now. Any more than that, and I suppose it'll get too dry, and then just not. No, it won't be in my. It's not on my Instagram. Did I post it? Anyway, I'll post it up on my Twitter. Just.
I've heard like a really good way to go about like reheating it is like put it in a frying pan and like oil the frying pan a little bit.
I've done that before.
If it's really that big, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that.
They usually just put it in the oven for a bit. It does dry up a little bit, but that's what dipping sauce is.
It's a 2 foot. It was 2 foot.
2 feet, damn.
1XXL, 2 foot. So, yeah, boom. It was glorious. It still is glorious. It's let's see what was in it. It was standard base, so I suppose it technically would be thin base, but it's not that thin. It's tomato sauce, normal like cheddar, pepperoni, Cajun chicken.
Okay, you got. I'm on board.
Popcorn chicken.
Oh, Cajun chicken and popcorn chicken.
Yes, I want the chicken up, and there was some else. I think ham. I think there's some slices of ham as well.
Was there anything on there that wasn't an animal?
Yes, chili powder.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
that's not really a topping.
So the other advice I would say, if you're gonna get pizza that's gonna last more than one day, get it with extra sauce, because then it will last. Like, it'll be not as dry when you go to eat it the next day.
Yeah, it's still really moist right now, but like I said, it's in the microwave, so by tomorrow it's going to be very. It's going to be at the end of its shelf life without any external help. Also, they gave me a bunch of sauces, but for God's sake, all they gave me was Italian herb and cheese, which is nice. But I was hoping I should have asked for like chili sauce or barbecue. I've got barbecue in there, so I'll just use my own barbecue because I'm not a savage.
Marinara sauce, that's the way to go.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do have some marinara sauce, I should think. Maybe I should make up some of that.
The pizza crust is basically just a fancy breadstick.
Absolutely.
So you get your marinara sauce for that.
I could have made, instead of like tomato sauce, it could have been based as barbecue sauce, which
you can do that. I have a friend who like does that sometimes.
I like doing that. Also, I could have gotten a stuffed crust. I don't know of what, but I didn't do that because I think it would have cost a little bit more. So I was like, this is already getting a little bit pricey for this pizza.
You ordered a fucking 2 foot large pizza, and then you're like, stuffed crust. I don't know the cost on that. Like,
yeah, I know.
That's what
I
put
didn't
it over
even
the
buy
edge
a
for you.
drink. I didn't even buy any sides. I just bought the pizza itself, and I was like. You know what? I might wanna wait. No, I won't. It's a 2 foot size. It's a 2 foot pizza. I won't want anything else. And as it later on turned out, I wanted aqua, so much water, because my God, it's salty. But anyway, we end our bearded ramblings. Once again, happy, a very fun episode. I approve. Magicus, you were quite delightful to get on. So before you go, is there anything you wish to shill?
Yeah, just go check out my YouTube channel. Like I said, it has to do with Magic the Gathering.
Down below.
I have an inked gaming store, so if you play Magic and you're looking for cool playmats, I have a couple in there you can check out, which are also linked in all my videos. So
score.
You can follow me on Twitter at Lord Majicus and at P Majicus for Peasant Magicus.
Wasn't always a lord.
No, Lord Majicus is for all like the official lordly stuff. So I post like all my videos to it and magic related stuff. Peasant Magicus is for all the other stuff besides that.
When you want to go a slumming.
Yeah, basically. Because not everybody on Magic Twitter wants to hear about like. Every single thought that crosses your brain. So
yeah,
try to keep the worlds a little bit separate.
Nay, they meet.
Fair enough.
And Krendar, what are we going to find you playing?
Still trucking through Nier Automata. That is a long-ass game.
Isn't it just?
And pleasantly weird as hell. So it's been a fun trip in both senses of the word trip.
You know what I found shocking, like the sheer size of the Nier universe, like the amount of stuff, like the games are obvious. There's tons of Nier games, but there's also like a TV show or an anime at the very least. There was a play at one point, like a stage play.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, and the storyline goes centuries back into like medieval times and distant future, so futuristic that it's actually also in like a medieval style sort of situation. It's that far in the future they've regressed. And it's
I mean, that's almost Nier Automata in a certain way, because one of the areas of the game is a forest kingdom, a kingdom that has been set up by rogue robots. So you got a medieval castle kingdom going on, but it's all robots, so it's just weird.
It's so daunting. I'd hate to like be like, wow, I'm gonna read every single thing about it, and there's like 14 different particular like games and settings that you'd have to go through. You'd probably take like a decade.
I want to go back and check out the other games at this point, because I'm really into Automata, at least anyway. I never played the first Nier, and I never played Drakengard.
Yeah,
and the 3 different Drakengard games, I should say.
Nier, the one set in the one from like 2010, wasn't it?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, with the ugly dude for the American version and the.
I don't know. I know nothing about it, but they're doing a remake of it, and I'm gonna play that.
Oh, cool. Super Bowl Bunny Hop did a really cool video on it. And of course, Yahtzee did his review, and he's like, it's really nice that we're playing as a Japanese protagonist who doesn't look like a cross-gender 12-year-old. As for me, I'm going to go to bed now, so you won't be seeing me for the rest of the day. But when I'm up, I probably won't stream tomorrow, but I will stream Sunday, where we're going back to Hades, because I fucking love this game, Hades.
That's a brave stance to take on that game.
I know, it's been getting nothing but hate, but you know what? I'm gonna say it. The game has its. You have to dig really far to find.
I'm gonna say it, and I don't care who hears.
I like sexy wine dad Dionysus, and I don't care what anyone says.
They do a pretty good rendition of Dionysus, actually.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I love
all the representations of the gods. They're all pretty good.
I love how catty they all are to each other as well. You can see like the little nods and like little passive
that just sounds like
slights.
Accurate Greek mythology to me.
Pretty much, yeah. And there's scenes where you like have to choose between one of the other gods for the boon, and the other one will send their minions out to kill you, just like on a drop of a hat, and then afterwards it'll be like, all things forgiven. You know.
I mean, you know you're going to come back to life again after you die, so why not? It's not that big a deal, really. It's like giving you a sucker punch, then walking away.
But that's a great thing, because every time you have to pass by your dad, who gives you these passive-aggressive little, oh, look who dragged himself back in. Shut up. I don't want to hear it right now, Dad.
Maybe when you're done trashing my realm, we can finally have some money to get some improvements around here.
Yeah.
After I've finished paying for all these repairs.
But then he never goes and does anything, but it's always down to you and Nyx. But like their argument, I hate when they fight. You know, like it's there's so much there's so many great little nods and tweaks towards it. It's a really fun game. And I don't like roguelikes, and I really don't like those sort of Devil May Cry games, because it takes you forever to kill an enemy. But no, in this one, it's not too bad. Like every time you die, you get a little bit stronger. Just
that's what
smidge.
I like roguelites only if they have like some sort of overall meta progression, which this does.
Hell, you can if you're really having a struggling time like I do, you can turn on God mode, which will give you up to 50% every time you die. Eventually, it'll build up to 50% damage resistance. And you can already get that in game, so you can end up having, if you know what you're doing, 100% damage resistance. Which, Jesus Christ, like if you just want to stroll through it, and I kind of do, because I love the storyline. The storyline's great. I even love the narrator.
Thing is, whenever you die and have to replay, you get more new dialogue.
Yeah, I haven't run out.
So making yourself invulnerable is actually a little bit counterproductive in that way.
I like games that have like that kind of unique dialogue for replay value. Like that's one of the things I like about Borderlands is like each one of the characters has their own dialogue for like each quest. So depending on which characters you have in the party, and even which character is the one who initiates the quest, you get to hear different dialogue every time that you play through it with different characters.
Hell, I love when a game, whenever you do die and come back. Do you remember games used to just have the same line of dialogue being replayed over and over and over and over again? Some games still do that, but nowadays, at least you get a little bit of variety. Like
I've been enjoying how sassy Amara is.
Oh yeah, my friend plays Amara, and I'm playing as Mose in our campaign. So
Mara's been my favorite.
I'm really excited for the new skill trees that are coming out.
Yeah, I'm wondering when that's going to happen, and I'm wondering what they're going to be like.
It's I think it's like next week, right? On Tuesday.
I don't know.
A week or two from now. But I know I'm excited about Moe's because hers turns like the mech, instead of getting into a mech, it turns it into like a little pet instead. So
cool.
It's going to open up a huge amount of shit because now a lot of this on action skill triggers will actually work with her guns since she's not going to be getting into a mech. So
nice.
There's a whole class of weapons that now work for her that previously.
If you've got a link to information about what the new skill trees are, drop that into the Discord.
Yeah, I will definitely do that and it's coming out I think at the same time as like their new content is, which they have like a new mode for it, which is kind of like the Hunger Games, where you start out. You can't use like skill trees or equipment or anything. You just go in and you have to pick up everything that you're going to use throughout the entire level in that level.
I'll pass on that.
It's kind of weird, but I think it'll be worth trying. But like at least
I'm excited for the new skill trees though.
Yeah, the skill trees, like I've been wanting this for Moe's for like forever. I've played like almost exclusively Moe's, and like I love like the gun focused builds of her. So this is only going to make them stronger, and that makes me happy.
I like it.
All right. So I guess with that, I want to thank everyone who popped in and everyone who will pop in the future. Hopefully all things are good in the hood, and as far as like the world ending. That won't happen quite yet. At the very least, would like to get to my 33rd birthday. It's a nice symmetrical 3-3 for the manatee, if you will. But you know what?
3 is confirmed for the manatee. Yes,
indeed.
This is known.
It is known. All right, so I'm out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're not already, check out the links of our guests down below. And stay safe in these very shitty times. I really mean that. It's a lot of unknowns in the near future. But you know what? We'll be here rambling and having beards. So you've always got that at least until Krendar and I have a huge blah live on screen, and then it's going to be a deep fat beard on my part. So with that said, see ya.